Welcome back to the new Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Great football weather, 54 degrees at kickoff time as the Chiefs prepare to take on the Buffalo Bills. And Kansas City, what a season it's been for them so far. They won 4 games all of last year. Todd Haley was in his first year. Now in his second year, they sit atop of the division, coming off that 42-20 win at home against Jacksonville. They're looking to continue the momentum as they play back-to-back home games before heading on the road to play 2 in the division against Oakland, who pounded Denver last week, and eventually the Denver Broncos. Buffalo has won the toss. They deferred, so Kansas City will receive the football. This is the 38th regular season meeting between these two squads. Buffalo leads the series 21-16 with 1 tie in a series that dates back all the way to 1960. In their last meeting, December 13th, 09, Buffalo won it 16-10. Matt Castle threw 4 picks, and Ryan Lindell kicked 3 field goals, 24, 36, and 41 yards. So Lindell ready to send this one away. And when you look at this game, Steve, what jumps off the page at you?
Well, we spoke about it in the open. Gus, the Chiefs making a huge turnaround from a year ago, playing so much better, and really not feeling like they're quite there yet. But when they play so mistake-free as they have, Todd Haley has them absolutely playing so close to the vest. No mistakes, only positive plays, no penalties. They become a very difficult team to beat, whether they're at home or on the road. But as you'll see today, when this team with the red helmets, with the arrowhead on the side of them, plays in this building, all bets are off. They are tough to beat.
Kansas City undefeated at home this year. Javier Arenas, rookie return man out of Alabama, standing at his own goal line. One of the great places to watch a football game in the NFL, and it's brand new Arrowhead, and we're underway. Arenas from the goal line, and Arenas gets up to the 25. Brian Scott with the special teams tackle, and it's a return of 25 yards. Flag on the play.
Holding during the return, number 51. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that's Corey Mays called for the hold. So Matt Castle, last week, very efficient as usual, 13 of 18, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. His quarterback rating 144. And here's a quarterback that, I tell you what, week in and week out, he continues to just manage this team extremely well.
Very steady at quarterback. He gets them lined up and has been a real steadying influence on a young roster.
On first down, Thomas Jones over the right side. And Thomas Jones gets to the 20-yard line, gains about 5 on the play. Dwan Edwards with the tackle. Let's take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, the regular right guard, Ryan Lilja, is out with a hand injury. John Asamoah will get the start at right guard. Those guards for the Chiefs pull a lot. We'll see if it makes a difference. In their backs and receivers, Chris Chambers is in to start today. As you said, Gus, their great explosive rookie, Dexter McCluster, is out for this game. Chris Chambers is in. He was inactive a week ago.
So there's Dexter McCluster, exciting rookie out of Ole Miss on the sideline. He was on crutches earlier this week, but you see him walking around, so hopefully he'll be able to go next week in Oakland. Second down and 6 at the 19. Thomas Jones, a single setback. Play fake, Castle rolling out, sets up underneath, and it's caught at the 31-yard line. Leonard Pope, fifth-year tight end out of Georgia with the catch. He gains 14. Defensively, let's take a look at the Buffalo Bills 3-4.
Well, they go with 3-4. They'll switch back to a 4-3. Kyle Williams is a guy who has a fast motor and is the leader on that defensive line. The linebackers, these are the guys that have had to make the big transition here. 4-3, 3-4 defense. Paul Posluszny leads the way, but they've got to play better in the run game. In the back end, this secondary was thought to be a strength of this team. No interceptions on the year.
First down and 10 at the 33. Charles on the reverse. He's got a blocker and a seam down the sideline. Watch him burn. Out of bounds at the 30. Leonis McKelvin knocks him out of bounds. But Jamal Charles, who leads the NFL in yards per carry at 6, burst one for 32 yards.
Tony Moeaki is going to lead the charge coming around, and Charles gets right behind him. Moeaki makes the block, and Charles breaks right off inside of it. Well executed up front, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs for you, Gus. Everybody gets into the act on that running game, not just the two guys with the ball in their hands.
First down and 10 at the 35. Thomas Jones in the backfield once again. Play fake. Castle sets up, throws the bomb. Boom! Incomplete. He had him. Drayton Florence covering. But Dwayne Bowe just couldn't pull that one in.
Now, they had a chance, even though I think Matt Castle is just late with this football. You see how Bowe has to put the brakes on and lean back into that throw. Drayton Florence right in there. And that's a good no call because Florence is playing the football, trying to go through to the football. Bowe has to stop and go back and get it, and that's what caused the contact.
Dwayne Bowe has been playing some very solid football last couple of weeks. Second and 10 at the 35. Out of the offset eye. Jones. And Thomas Jones would pick up 3 on the play. Underappreciated, undervalued Thomas Jones, year in and year out, continues to excel running the football.
Well, as we said in the open, he's been on this is his 5th football team, and everywhere he goes, Gus, he's productive. And he gets passed around. And I asked Charlie Weiss, you know, why do you think that is? And he says, man, he's a strong personality, and some head coaches can't handle it. He's a leader and very vocal.
20 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown last week against Jacksonville. Out of the shotgun, Castle looking with time, deflected, and it is incomplete. Dwayne Bowe had a chance to catch that ball at the end. A little pushing and shoving going on. Paul Posluszny deflecting the football, and that will bring on the punt unit for Kansas City.
Yeah, this turn went from a football game to a volleyball game as soon as that came out of Castle's hands. It got tipped at the line of scrimmage, tipped in the secondary. It looked like they were going to come down with it for the first down, and then the contact did it. That was a pass that really Castle was forced to hang on to the football too long, and it forced the incompletion.
All right, Dustin Colquitt, left-footed punter. 155 career punts. He's down inside the 20, most in Chiefs history. Angles this one toward the corner, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Kansas City comes up empty on their first drive. Here come the Bills. But no score here in Kansas City. Bills and the Chiefs as Buffalo takes over. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Ryan Fitzpatrick under center. On first down, short drop underneath, almost intercepted. Derek Johnson almost picking that one off and taking it into the end zone. And that's what they say about Ryan Fitzpatrick. Very organized, a gunslinger at times, and he will throw the pick. Last week, though, in that 37-34 overtime loss at Baltimore, he was terrific. 382 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for a quarterback rating of 106.2. Second down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Fitzpatrick out of the shotgun, fires, incomplete. And he ends up on his back. Roscoe Parrish, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up third down and long. So let's take a look at the Bills, ranked 28th overall in offense.
Well, up front, Cordero Howard, who's listed as a guard, is going to start at right tackle today. Cornell Green, the regular starters, out with a knee. And in the back end, the backs and receivers, Stevie Johnson exploding last week for 158 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, Lee Evans with the 3 touchdowns as well. Those 2 wide receivers have got to be good today against this Chiefs defense.
Third down and 10 at the 20. Bills trying to spread out Kansas City now. 4-receiver package with Fred Jackson in the backfield for Fitzpatrick. Here's Fitzpatrick to the sideline. Johnson with the grab at the 30. And his forward momentum may be enough for the first down. Stopped by Brandon Carr. He gained 11 yards on third down and 10. First down, Buffalo.
Well executed here. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the ball just comes out. Stevie Johnson hasn't even turned around before Fitzpatrick's wound up, and the ball's almost out of his hands. Great pass after two very iffy plays on first and second down.
First down and 10 of the 32. Here's the handoff. Jackson running over the right side, and he's dragged down from behind. Nice pursuit as Jovan Belcher, the linebacker, makes a tackle, and it's a loss of one. Here are the 3-4 Chiefs on D.
Well, it starts with Glenn Dorsey, a guy who was very overweight last year when Todd Haley took over. Not anymore. He's been great. And this linebacking core, Derek Johnson, you saw him almost pick off first pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick. And this secondary, young, talented, very, very mature for the young guys they have in the back end.
They're ranked 17th overall. Fitzpatrick to the sideline, incomplete. He had some pressure on him. Johnson in his face. And Steve Johnson, the intended receiver, in front of Brandon Flowers.
Watches Flowers and Johnson getting at Flowers, got his hand on him, and Johnson getting distracted by Flowers with his hand on his shoulders. You got to get by that. Most receivers don't like to be touched while they're running their route, and most defenders know that fact.
Third down and 11 at the 31. Bills need to go to the 41 for first down. Parrish in the slot at the bottom of your screen. Here's Fitzpatrick with time. Oh, he threw a missile to guess who? Roscoe Parrish at the 45, and he gains the first. Well, Eric Berry, the rookie safety, with the tackle.
Well, Roscoe Parrish catches this ball, and it comes in, and he's in the middle of some traffic. Three Chiefs converge on Parrish. He makes the catch and falls forward. Big collision, you said it. Roscoe Parrish, a guy who has reemerged for the Buffalo Bills, did not have any kind of a part to play in this offense a year ago. Not so in 2010.
So the Bills convert on a 3rd and 10 and a 3rd and 11. Here's Fred Jackson. And Jackson running it straight. And I tell you what, after releasing Trent Edwards after the second game, benching Trent Edwards after the second game, and then giving Fitzpatrick the start, probably the best move Chan Gailey has made thus far.
And there was really two moves. Not only did he make Fitzpatrick the starter, he got rid of the other guy, so there's no going back. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, it said something to him, and I think the entire team, that they're moving forward in a different direction, and everybody better step up.
Fitzpatrick facing a 2nd down and 8 at the 47. Fred Jackson at receiver at the bottom of your screen. Here's Fitzpatrick underneath. And C.J. Spiller, the impressive rookie out of Clemson, with the reception. Mike Vrabel brings him down. It's a gain of 4. Ryan Fitzpatrick voted by the Sporting News as one of the top 5 smartest athletes in the country.
Well, Chan Gailey told us he brings two things to the table. He really understands protection packages for an offense, and he also has a great understanding of defenses. And those are the things that allow him to make the proper decisions from the pocket.
3rd down and 4 at the 49. Out of the gun, here's Fitzpatrick. Under pressure, and he's sacked. They got to him. Studebaker, first sack of the day for Kansas City. And Buffalo will have to punt it away.
Studebaker gets the sack, but Tamba Hali gets the big rush, and he flashes in front of Fitzpatrick before Studebaker gets in there. Watch the inside move he makes, gets right past Demetrius Bell and Freddie Jackson on a hard inside move. Great rush by Hali to set up the sack for Studebaker.
A loss of 10 on the play, so Brian Moorman punts. Javier Arenas comes up to field it at the 21. And he's wrestled down at the 31-yard line. A 37-yard punt, 11-yard return. Corey McIntyre with the tackle. Matt Castle back on the field. No score. AC. Interesting cast of characters on Halloween as the Kansas City Chiefs break for the line of scrimmage at the 31-yard line. Castile and Jamal Charles in the backfield with Castle. They give it to Charles. He breaks it back and gets to the 35. And that's one of the concerns, this Buffalo Bills squad, Steve. They told us in meetings yesterday that they've given up a lot of big plays. Guys have been able to cut back and run on it.
Yeah, and it's one of the things. They lined up in a straight 3-4 on that time. The 3-down linemen, 4 linebackers, and they held their gaps pretty well. A 3-yard gain is, I think at this point of the season, you got to think that's a win for the Buffalo Bills defense. They haven't been able to hold people to 3 yards on a rush very often.
Second down at 7 at the 34. Thomas Jones back in the game. Here's Castle. Charles on a quick strike. Gets down the sideline and out of bounds at the 40. Andre Davis knocks him out of bounds. Quick screen, gains 6 yards for Charles.
Yeah, and this is just to get the ball into the hands of their running backs. And this is, it goes down as a pass, but this is something you'll see the Kansas City Chiefs do. Nothing high risk unless they do a play action with it. They'll take a shot occasionally, but only when their run game is working. They'll find every way they can to get the ball into the hands of Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones. And of course, without Dexter McCluster, somebody has to fill that void for Todd Haley.
First down and 10 at the 41. Charles breaks it back and gets to the 46. Leotis McKelvin with the tackle. The Bills talked about securing their edge yesterday. What does that mean, Steve?
Well, it means setting the edge of the defense. When the Chiefs run the football right or left, there has to be a Buffalo Bill holding his edge of the formation, not letting them push in, get around the corner, making sure that if he runs sideways, he keeps running all the way to the sideline and can't turn toward the Bills' goal line. They haven't been able to do that.
Second down and 4. Castle giving it up. Jones. And this time, not a lot of room. Paul Posluszny, first man to him. Reggie Torbor in there as well, along with Kyle Williams.
You'll see they'll try and stretch this play out and then have Thomas Jones pick a place to go in here, and it's up to the defense to stop all the gaps and have a guy waiting for him wherever he decides to go. And there you see from the backside Posluszny coming in and making the tackle. George Edwards, defensive coordinator, doing what he can to help his club find itself, and they are improving.
Third down and 3 for Kansas City at the 48. Castle with time over the middle, and that one just got away from him. Intended for Jamal Charles, who was open.
I think Matt Castle wanted Charles to go a little wider than the inside edge of the numbers, and Castle put it out to where he wanted the receiver to be. You'll see he's going to put this out right out towards the top of the numbers, and Charles is inside the numbers. You see, that's just a miscommunication. When you throw the football down the field, you have to be more precise on both ends of the pass.
So Cole Quitt will punt from the 33-yard line, and Roscoe Parrish back deep at the 11. Parrish signaling for the fair catch, and he has it at the 9. A 43-yard punt. No return. Here comes Fitz. No score from Kansas City here in the first quarter. Todd Haley's team doing a nice job this season. They're trying to do this. The last 3 teams to go from last place to first in their division. Tampa, then Miami, 1-15 to win the AFC East in 08. Last year, New Orleans, they finished 8-8 in 08 and then won the Super Bowl last year.
Now, we spoke to Derek Johnson, the Chiefs linebacker, on Friday. He looked at this Buffalo Bills team on film. He says, we've been where the Bills are now. We were there last year. And how things have changed here in Kansas City.
Johnson, talented linebacker, very athletic. First down and 10 at the 9 for Buffalo. Jackson. And Jackson trying to push the pile forward. He spins, stood up, and refused to be taken down. He gained 3 yards on the play. Kendrick Lewis, the rookie safety from Ole Miss, with first contact.
Freddie Jackson coming on the trap play to the left side. It was designed, but one thing in football at any level, when you give the ball to a guy, never second guess what he sees. The play was designed to go left. Freddie Jackson went back to the right, thinking that's where the opening was, and I think he was right.
Second down and 7 at the 12. McIntyre Jackson in the offset eye. Fitzpatrick changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Here's a draw. And doesn't fool anybody. A 3-yard gain for Buffalo. Miami taking on Cincinnati. Here's JB in New York.
Hey, Gus and Steve, opening drive success for Cincinnati as Carson Palmer caps a 15-play, 86-yard drive with that 7-yard strike to T.O. Fourth consecutive game with a touchdown for T.O. Cincinnati looking to snap a 3-game losing streak up 7-3. Mr. Buffalo Wild Wings, Gus Johnson.
All right. How about these Buffalo Bills faced with a 3rd down and 4 at the 15. Fitzpatrick in the shotgun. Sideline. Parrish with the catch. Dives. Let's see where they spot it. And he will be a tad short of the 1st down as Javier Arenas brought him down.
The Chiefs coming out for the first time in this game in their dime package. McGraw on the field as a safety. Coming up and playing as a linebacker, spreading the field, and the Chiefs perfectly willing to give up the short pass and count on the tackle, and Arenas makes it.
Mormon will punt from the 4. Arenas back at the 30. And he drives this football. Arenas backpedaling. Now he gets it at the 26 with the lane down the sideline, spinning. Very nice return by the rookie as he gets to midfield. John Cordo with the tackle, 55-yard punt, 23-yard return, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, Brian Mormon, the punter, got knocked over. This is going to be a 1st down for Buffalo, and a huge penalty that you rarely see from this Chiefs team. Al Riveron will tell us.
Running into the kicker, defense. The result of the 5-yard penalty will be a 1st down.
Well, it's a tough crowd. Brian Mormon, who's a native of Sedgwick, Kansas, went to Pittsburgh State here, and that's a penalty.
DeMario Williams called for the penalty, and Buffalo gets new life.
And those are the penalties that the Chiefs have managed to avoid thus far this season.
And we saw Buffalo last week against the Ravens on the road. They fought hard, lost the game in overtime 37-34, but for Chan Gailey, he really had a chance to see, as he told us yesterday, some positive things coming from his team.
Games like that really change the outlook of the whole franchise. You think about a franchise who's heard nothing but you got to draft a quarterback, you got to draft a quarterback, and all of a sudden the quarterback you've got throws for 382 yards and 4 touchdowns and has played very well in 4 or 5 starts this year. And you think, well, gosh, do we need a quarterback that much? And nobody knows yet. They're going to find out if Ryan Fitzpatrick can play football for the long term.
1st down and 10 at the 24. Fitzpatrick, quick drop, in trouble, lost it. And somehow the Bills managed to fall on it. Sean Smith wreaking havoc in the backfield, loss of 12.
Well, you'll see what happens. He just can't get rid of it. He almost starts to throw it, and then because of the pressure up inside from Wallace Gilberry, he has to bail out, and Gilberry almost makes him, he does make him fumble the football. Great pressure down inside. And that's the difference thus far early in the game, is the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line getting all on the other side of the line of scrimmage into the Buffalo Bills backfield.
And Fitzpatrick burns a timeout. Buffalo faced with a 2nd and 22. Back to Kansas City after this. Windy day here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Chiefs, Bills. Right now, Buffalo faced with the 2nd and 22 at their own 12-yard line. C.J. Spiller wide to the far side. They find him on a slant. Great route as he gets to the 26. Gains 14 on the play. Mike Vrabel with the tackle, along with Kendrick Lewis.
You see at the top of your screen, and this is the plan on a 2nd and 22, is to get maybe half of it. to give yourself in the ballpark to convert the third down. Buffalo Bills doing a nice job, and that guy C.J. Spiller has been a big help to this offense.
3rd down and 8 at the 26. Bills have been good on 3rd down so far. 2 of 4. Fitzpatrick down the seam, incomplete, intended for Johnson. But Brandon Carr knocks it away at the last moment.
And this is really well defended. Look how he goes over, keeps his left arm up high away from Johnson and knocks that ball away. You can't do it any better than that. Well defended by Carr against Stevie Johnson on a play that looked like it had a chance.
So Brian Moorman has to punt once again, this time from the 12-yard line. Javier Arenas back at the 25. Angling it toward the far side. Arenas will get a shot from the 19. Arenas at the 30 and gets to the 35. John Cordo again with the tackle on special teams. A 54-yard punt and a 15-yard return. No score, Kansas City. Chiefs on offense when we come back. .127 remaining in the first. And Steve, how about this stat?
Last time they held them scoreless in the first quarter last year in December. You see George Edwards trying to make slow but steady progress with this defense.
1st down and 10. Play action. Castle setting up, and he'll dump it. Good defense there by the Bills. Moiaki, closest man to the football.
Dwan Edwards all over that tight end screen.
Now watch Fantasy Football Today to get the last-minute news and analysis you need to set your fantasy league lineup. It's live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, only on CBSSports.com. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker with you from Arrowhead Stadium. The new Arrowhead Stadium, and boy, does this place look shiny. 2nd and 10 at the 35. Here's the handoff, Thomas Jones. And Jones gets 5 on the play. Dwan Edwards with the tackle. No Tony Romo. How are the Cowboys doing today? Here's JB.
Hey, Gus and Steve, take a look at Jacksonville getting it done. David Garrard play action, hooking up with Mike Sims Walker on 1st and goal from the 10. That touchdown puts them ahead of Dallas by the score of 7-3, now into the 2nd quarter. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker.
All right, so David Garrard comes back after sitting out with the concussion. 3rd down, 5 at the 40. Castle looks backside, sets up the screen. Jones turns it up and picks up the 1st down. Prior to that 1st down, Kansas City 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, this Kansas City offense, it's all right if you stop the run for a while. It's all right if you snap off one screen play. You're going to see it a lot. They do not get discouraged. Charlie Weiss does an outstanding job, and Matt Castle and Charlie Weiss, the new offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, are really starting to find their rhythm together. They've worked together before, and they're starting to get back to that level once again. It's taken a while, but they're getting there.
Matt Castle has now thrown 100 consecutive passes without an interception. Thomas Jones running the football. That's the 3rd longest streak in the NFL behind Michael Vick, who's thrown 123. Brody Croyle, wow, he threw 112, and he's the backup. Back after this. No score from Kansas City as you take a look at the new Arrowhead Stadium. $300 million worth of renovations to this stadium. Everything sparkling here. Here's Charles running the football.
Jamal Charles on the carry.
Kyle Williams with the tackle. And Steve, you grew up coming to this stadium. You've seen a lot of games.
My first game ever was in this stadium, 1978. But you're right. I mean, $375 million later, $125 million of it put up by the Hunt family. They changed everything. Todd Haley poured $10 million into their training camp facility, their new practice facility. Everything about this whole arena and atmosphere in the grounds and the campus has been upgraded, and it's sparkling.
3rd down and 3 at the 47-yard line. Jackie Battle now in the backfield. They give it to him. Inside handoff. He gets close to the first down. He should have it.
Second effort got him across the 45-yard line and the first down. You'll see the Bills will meet at the point of attack and stop battle, and then he spins out and there gets the first down. Nothing fancy about this Chiefs offense, Gus. They just pound it, play action, screen pass, and just get it done. Few mistakes.
First down. Chiefs now inside Buffalo territory at the 44. Oyaki in motion. Castle lines up. Almost picked off. Wow. George Wilson on Halloween will have nightmares about this play tomorrow.
Well, around the NFL, guys always joke the reason defensive backs play defense is because they can't catch. And that's proof. That ball could not have been thrown any better to George Wilson by Matt Castle. The problem is George Wilson is on the wrong team. Bad decision by Castle.
Buffalo with only one interception the entire year. Andre Davis with the lone pick. 2nd and 10. Here's a reverse. Wow! Dante Whitner chopped him down. But look at the somersault by Dwayne Bowe.
Well, you'll see all the action goes to the right, comes back to the left. Bowe comes out, and Whitner comes from way back with a full head of steam, and Bowe can't get up high enough, quick enough to miss the contact. I'll tell you, and I'll just say it right now. Yes, that does hurt.
Unbelievable athleticism by Dwayne Bowe. 3rd down and 6 at the 40. Here's a handoff. Jones! And Thomas Jones slicing and dicing for 13. First down, Chiefs.
Well, stopping the run for 1 quarter is not going to be good enough against the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're going to keep handing off. Dwan Edwards tries to set the edge of the defense. Jones cuts it right back inside of him. Second play in a row. Dante Whitner comes from deep in the secondary to make that tackle.
81 yards rushing for the Chiefs so far. First down to the 27. Jones again. And this time Spencer Johnson gets him from behind after a 3-yard pickup.
This is one of the things that I spoke to Todd Haley, and so many people are talking about the rebuilding process that this Chiefs team has done. Their draft class has been absolutely stellar. They've really got lots of contributions. And I asked him, what about this team? Forget about next year, the year after. This is a team that really seems to be built to get to the playoffs and do a lot of damage. He says, hey, we're just trying to make the transition.
2nd down and 7. Charles this time. And he skips forward and gets to the 20-yard line. Terrell Troop with the tackle, a 4-yard gain.
Trying to make that transition from a bad football team to a good one to a great one. It's not always exciting as you see him just hand it off, pound it. You see him grinding the football down into the Buffalo Bills into the football field. No mistakes, methodical, and that makes them a really difficult team to beat because you can't pry the lid off and get the ball.
Now for Todd Haley, this may be a 4-down situation. We've seen him do it before. 3rd and 3 at the 20. Jones running. Now he doesn't get it. Let's see if they bring on the field goal unit or if they decide, as they have in the past, to go for it on what would be 4th down and 2. And we had an extensive conversation with Todd at their facility on Friday.
Yeah, and he goes, it's not really just a feel thing, it's a numbers thing. He goes, and I'll tell Charlie Weiss when they go in and get into a part of the field that we're in 4-down territory, which really affects the play call 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. He doesn't just wait till 4th down to tell Weiss they're going to go for it.
They're 5 of 9 on 4th down conversions. Castle looking. Castle steps up and he won't get it. How about that big Kyle Williams with the tackle? First sack of the day for Buffalo. So Kansas City gambles. They get no points. We're scoreless. Halloween has an effect on everybody. That's our cameraman TJ in a wolfish mood. First down and 10 at the 20. And Jackson running the ball. And speaking of a wolfish mood, these KC fans, some of them like Todd Haley's ability to gamble on fourth down. Others don't. He didn't get the 3 points. And don't forget, coming up on the Sprint halftime report, I wonder what Coach Cowher would say about that. Hopefully he'll have a comment. So don't forget to join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Yeah, and you ask yourself, what are the chances of the Bills taking that after a fourth down non-conversion, going the distance to score as opposed to getting it on fourth down? You weigh those two things, and fourth down doesn't look like such a far-reaching. Oh, there's a flag. Doesn't look like such a reach.
Number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's Eric Wood, the right guard. And it seems as if you read the Kansas City Star yesterday, there was a great article on a high school coach in Arkansas who probably hasn't punted
Since 2006.
Since 2006. And there's a growing trend for coaches to start going for it on fourth down, and Haley's at the top of the list. Second down and 13 at the 17-yard line. Fitzpatrick dumps it off, incomplete, intended for Jackson. That ball thrown low.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick just doesn't put enough on this. This is just, he sees Holly and he just hurries the throw. He's got to, I mean, that's just a quarterback not taking enough time and putting enough on that throw. And Freddie Jackson had a chance to do something with that, and you got to get it on him. Now, there's no question Jackson could have caught it, but that throw was so bad that even if he would have, it was going to compromise the play.
Third down and 13 at the 17. C.J. Spiller in the backfield with Fitzpatrick. Chiefs fans on their feet. Fitzpatrick underneath, incomplete. Spiller, the intended receiver. He had pressure on him, though. John McGraw with pressure on Fitzpatrick, and Buffalo will have to punt it away.
Gus, the difference in this game has been the defensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs and the pressure they've put on Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they're stopping the run. That's been the big difference. Those guys up front for the Kansas City Chiefs have been in the Bills' backfield all day.
Javier Arenas back at his own 29. Brian Moorman inside his own 5. Over to the sideline, Arenas. And he's out of bounds at the 27. A 56-yard punt. 8:49 to play in the first half. No score. There's Dexter McCluster, the rookie, out with an ankle injury for this game. And that brings us to the task force.
Well, that's one of the things that Kansas City is missing. You want to know how Dexter McCluster is an undersized, or a lot of people thought undersized player, is making a difference. Well, they just move him around out of the backfield, catching the ball, breaking a tackle. Then, as the quarterback in the Wildcat offense, handing it off, making decisions with the ball in his hand, and then, of course, in motion as a wide receiver, then back into the backfield and just taking it and going off into the interior of the line. They use him a lot of different ways. Not today.
Thomas Jones running the football, tries to spin, and he gets nailed by Kyle Williams. Very interesting conversation we had with Kyle Williams yesterday, and he talked about being the nose guard of a 3-4 scheme and having to make the adjustments coming from a 4-3 scheme. And usually when you see that nose guard, Williams weighs 305, but the big guys like Sean Rogers or Casey Hampton, they're in that 340 to 350 range.
Yeah, he makes up for it with a fast motor. But you see here, they're in a 4-down lineman, so they're not really playing the same technique.
Jones again. Jones, not a lot of running room. Marcus Stroud, a former Pro Bowler with the Jacksonville Jaguars, manages to slow him down. A 1-yard pickup, and that brings up third down and 6 at the 31.
Yeah, and here's Williams, this last play right there, and Marcus Stroud over here. Those two guys on the interior playing in a 4-man line. Stroud pushes the guard back and then kind of plays both gaps. If the back goes one way, he can go that way or the other way. That's called a 2-gap. So he can take either side of the offensive lineman that he's pushing.
Third down and 6 at the 31. Kansas City 3 of 6 on third down conversions. Castle to the sideline. Nice throw. Charles with the grab, and he picks up a first down in front of Donte Whitner. So on 3rd and 6, they get 7.
Yeah, and this is Matt Castle, and the ball coming out right on time. Looks at the safety, then goes right out to the sideline as he reads the safety's drop. Whitner comes in and kind of hangs in with the tight end, then bounces back outside to cover Charles. Castle sees it and puts enough stuff on the ball to get it there before Whitner can close.
First down and 10 at the 38. Thomas Jones in the backfield, receives the pitch. Around the short corner and knocked out of bounds.
And there's the edge of that defense, Gus.
George Wilson.
Forcing the running back Thomas Jones to go wide, 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 and then trying to squeak up the edge of the defense. Only a 2.5, 3-yard gain. That's what a defense has to do. Keep the running back going sideways so that if he does get turned up the field, he has no room to make any yardage.
And Thomas Jones came into today needing 39 yards rushing to become the first player in NFL history to rush for 500 yards with 5 different teams. And he needs 1 yard. Castle underneath. Pope with the catch. And he's close to a first down. Aiken Adele on the stop. And it's a gain of 6. About a yard short. As Thomas Jones comes back into the game, looking for that 1 yard.
And this game is unfolding exactly how the Chiefs wanted it to. They have the football a lot. They're running it. They've got all kinds of time of possession, methodically getting first downs.
Now they switch Jones, and he lines up as a receiver. Empty backfield for Castle.
Quarterback sneak, no.
Castle underneath, incomplete. Wow. Interesting call by Charlie Weiss and the Chiefs, the league's leading team when it comes to running the football. Needed a yard, and they throw it.
Yeah, and that's a head scratcher a little bit, because you figure going against the last ranked run defense in the league, I think this element of surprise was mixed in with this play selection as Aiken Adele does a nice job. There you see Charlie Weiss up top.
Roscoe Parrish at the 10. And Roscoe Parrish crosses the 15 and gets to the 17-yard line. A 45-yard punt, a 9-yard return. Andy Studebaker with the tackle on special teams. 5:44 remaining in the second quarter. Buffalo takes over at the 17. Some questionable decision-making for the Chiefs in this first half. C.J. Spiller running. And Spiller gets to the 20, gains 3 on the play. Now, Wednesday on Showtime, JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp return on cable's longest-running show, the multi-award-winning Inside the NFL, every Wednesday on Showtime. JB and Ryan Fitzpatrick with something in common. Both went to Harvard. Back then, James Brown, known as Jumpin' Jimmy Brown. He could snatch quarters off the top of backboards. That's what they say about James Brown. 2nd and 7 at the 20. Spiller. Oh, he spilled it. And Buffalo, luckily, pounces on the football. Kendrick Lewis with a nice hard hit on the rookie Spiller.
It looked like as though he dove forward. It might have been the ground that caused that, but nicely blocked up front as McIntyre gets through the hole. That ball was out. McIntyre alertly jumps on it, lose a couple, had the first down. Now it's 3rd and 1 instead of 1st and 10.
Buffalo started 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversion. Since then, they're 0 for 4. Here's the run. Jackson around the corner. Oh, beautiful hit. What a play by Eric Berry, the rookie safety. He came up hard.
And I don't think he got enough. Freddie Jackson trying to, and this is a good idea on 3rd down, because you give an intelligent, smart runner like Freddie Jackson a chance to spread the defense and then just find a crease. I don't think He got enough of one. You see here on the last effort, there's where it was close right there. And be interesting to see if Chan Gailey wants to go and challenge the spot on this one, because it looked like he might have extended it enough if they didn't get it, and they did not.
And they did not get it. So a decision for Coach Gailey. Does he go for it on 4th down? He's thinking about it.
Yeah, he's reaching his pocket as though he's going to pull the red flag out and say, it looks like it might be very close. The question is there going to be a good enough look at it?
Buffalo has challenged only one call this season, and they won week 1 against the Dolphins.
He's holding it up. Is he going to?
And he's going to challenge it.
Yeah, he's going to challenge the spot. At this point, I think that's an excellent challenge because it's very close. Freddie Jackson's extra effort might have given him the first down, and there's only 4 minutes left in the half of a 0-0 game.
Very interesting.
Buffalo is challenging the ruling on the field as to the spot of the ball and as it pertains to the first down. Timeout.
One more look. Close. First challenge of the day. Buffalo challenging the spot, and Chan Gailey has seen a very solid first half from his team.
And you see that he's got to get to the 27, and there it looks as though he's just passed.
The ruling on the field. The runner's elbow was down prior to him bringing over the ball over to the first down spot. Therefore, Buffalo will be charged with a timeout. It will be 4th down.
And there you have it. He did get past it, but watch his left elbow. If any part of the player's body besides his foot and the bottom of his hand hit, he's down. And his left elbow hit before the ball was extended across. And that means he is down.
Ryan Moorman has really had a chance to work in this game. This will be his 4th punt of the first half. To the far side, a read. Oh! Woo! Donald Jones.
That'll warm your heart.
Special teams. Listen to this.
Give me a moment while I have a flashback.
They're knuckling up in KC, folks. No score.
We let you in that the Buffalo Bills haven't held an opponent scoreless in the first quarter since last year in December. The last time they held an opponent scoreless in a first half was in 2007 against Baltimore. The Bills playing better defense, at least on the scoreboard today.
First down and 10 at the 29. Charles. And Posluszny drives him out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
And this is what has happened to them. You see this. Consecutive games allowing 34 points. This is all time. 5 for the Buffalo Bills. Off to a much, much better start today in Arrowhead.
Although they lost the game last week in Baltimore, a lot of confidence gained from this Bills squad after that one. As they come into Arrowhead Stadium, Charles again. Out of bounds, Posluszny chasing him. And man, can this guy burst through the hole. Gain of 11.
We've spoken about setting the edge of this defense. And on 2 consecutive plays, one left, one right, it's been the Chiefs who have been able to get to the edge and then turn up the field with plenty of room between the edge of the defense and the sideline for Charles and Jones to make some yardage.
9 carries, 69 yards for Charles. Thomas Jones back in. He needs that 1 yard. And he'll get it as he dives to the 50. So Thomas Jones becomes the first player in NFL history to rush for over 500 yards with 5 different teams: Arizona, Tampa, Chicago, the Jets, and now Kansas City.
And he's a consistent 1,000-yard rusher in the National Football League, and he's a consistent 100-yard rusher every week. I mean, this guy really gets it done. The Chiefs are really, really lucky to have him.
Second down and 7 at midfield. 2:30 to go. Castle steps up, throws on the run. Charles galloping down the sideline. Charles out of bounds at the 15. Posluszny chasing him again. But Jamaal Charles has taken over this series. He gains 31.
This is great call by the Chiefs, getting Charles matched up with Posluszny, and that's just a mismatch. Posluszny has no shot at catching him, and because Castle had a chance to break, contain, and extend that play, Charles came across and ran away from the coverage to get to the edge of the defense. Great job by Castle to give Charles a chance to use his speed.
And Kansas City will not get this play off. Takes us to the 2-minute warning. No score, but the Chiefs are knocking on the door. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Matt Castle with the football at the Buffalo 19. First down and 10. Charles running with room. Charles smelling the end zone. Dives! And he's down at the 1. An 18-yard gain. Dante Whitner with the saving tackle.
And once again, you see Kelsey, the outside linebacker, come up, just can't get there in time. Charles slithering through the tackles, and then right inside the 5, making the inside move to almost get into the end zone. Great run.
First down and goal. The fade in the corner. Go, touchdown.
The Chiefs come in and out of the huddle very quickly, run this play. Bo going to the corner, just stops on the intentional back shoulder throw by Castle, and it was a great throw. Bo just turns around, catches it right in his breadbasket. Nice quick snap count by the Chiefs. Great throw.
So with 1:28 remaining in the first half, Kansas City gets on the board. Extra point good. 6-play drive. Covering 71 yards, eating up 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Jamaal Charles, terrific on that drive, both running and receiving the football. And Bo caps it off with the touchdown.
You see, Matt Castle has no intention of going anywhere else. This ball's coming out of his hands, and it's going to Dwayne Bowe no matter what. And Bowe knows it as well.
But the star of the drive was Jamaal Charles. As you take a look, Charles 132 total yards today, 87 yards rushing.
Well, that's the way this Chiefs team really plays offense. They hang on to the football. They don't let you have it. They pound the rock. They go for it on 4th down. They throw the football occasionally. And when they do, it's almost never down the field. They don't turn it over. They don't take penalties. They're just a really solid, mistake-free football team.
So Ryan Suckup will kick it off. And back deep, C.J. Spiller and Donald Jones. Jones, number 19. Spiller Lets it take a bounce, and he'll down it in the end zone. So the minute and 28 to go. Buffalo with one timeout. Trailing 7-0 as Chan Gailey has some last-minute instructions for his quarterback. Tonight on CBS, Chiquita Corporation's Top Banana is going undercover. He's working the line and slipping up. On the job. Don't miss an all-new Undercover Boss tonight, only CBS. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 5 of 11, 47 yards in the first half. He's been under a lot of pressure. Buffalo with only 45 yards in total offense. First down. Fitzpatrick throws it down the seam, almost picked off. Intended for David Nelson.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, you can see the season he's been having. Only Peyton Manning with a higher quarterback rating. Fitzpatrick has been more than just efficient, more than just a game manager. He's been very, very good, but not today. I think most of the problem has been the protection in front of him.
Fitzpatrick has missed his last 4, 2nd and 10. Draw play, Jackson. Getting to the sideline. Lowers his shoulder. Wow, he had a message to be sent to Flowers. Some hard hitting going on the field.
And it's louder when you're inside the helmet.
Partner, you would know. 3rd down and 4 at the 26. Fitzpatrick. Incomplete. Nice defensive play by Javier Arenas. But there is a flag on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 92, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Wallace Gilberry.
Yeah, Gilberry probably try and swing at the ball and hit him in the head. Watch as he comes through. Gilberry right here, sweeping around. And that's it. He tried to bat the ball out of the air, and he came down and hit Fitzpatrick right in the face mask. You can't do that.
Ooh.
And this is exactly the kind of break the Buffalo Bills needed. 1:11 left, 1 timeout left, trying to get at least in field goal range, wind at their back.
Where do they need to go for Lindell?
They can try one anywhere inside of 60 yards from this range.
1st and 10 at the 41. Screen, Jackson. And Jackson down at the 45. He picks up 5. Eric Berry with the tackle.
When I say 60 yards, that means the line of scrimmage has got to be about the 40-yard line. Anything inside the 40-yard line, and the Bills will probably try it unless they feel the wind has shifted.
So they need about 9 yards to the sideline. Lee Evans with the grab inside Kansas City territory. 42 seconds to play. First catch of the day for Evans, who had 3 touchdowns last week against Baltimore. That's a gain of 7.
And this is one of the things that has really hurt the Bills. They have not been able to find their outside receivers. Fitzpatrick has not been able to get any separation. The secondary for the Chiefs really doing an outstanding job on the corners.
1st down and 10 at the 47. Fitzpatrick again. Nice throw and a nice catch by David Nelson as he goes up high. Fitzpatrick getting his team quickly to the line of scrimmage. 29 seconds to go. They still have a timeout.
Now they'll run a play here and try and get it, then call the timeout or spike it or get out of bounds.
Let's see if they take a shot. Fitzpatrick going the other way, incomplete. His intended receiver, Steve Johnson, falling down on the route.
I think
with 16 seconds left.
Steve Johnson, I think, stepped on the heel of Lewis, Kendrick Lewis. But that does stop the clock, and of course this is, I think, 4-down territory unless they really do want to try a 59-yarder. Now the Bills have tried Ryan Lindell has tried a 63-yarder, did not make it. It was just short.
Roscoe Parrish has been dangerous in this situation. He's the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Fitzpatrick looks that way, rolls out in trouble. Almost sacked. Tamba Hali bearing down. Ali already with a half sack today. 5.5 on the year.
Well, the reason this is not a penalty is he's outside the tackle and Freddie Jackson is in the area. He tries to get this and see it bounces up to Freddie Jackson. They're going to give him that as an okay as he's getting outside the tackle box and you can throw it. And you either have to get it past the line of scrimmage or there has to be a receiver in the area, and there was.
So Buffalo wants to get closer. It's 4th down and 3. They have a timeout left.
And I mentioned the long field goal. The wind is really kicking up, and it is swirling, and it's going to be really difficult to hit a field goal, even if the wind is at your back. And this is going to be reviewed from upstairs to see if Ryan Fitzpatrick threw that football after his knee was down. Watch. Does his knee go down before he gets rid of it? Yes.
Yes.
That's going to be a 4th down outside the 50-yard line. It'll be at the Bills' 48, 49-yard line. You see there's no missing it. His knee goes down. Right there. Before the ball's out of his hand. That's an excellent catch by the replay official upstairs. Doesn't help the Bills at all. They're trying desperately to get on the scoreboard in this first half. And that may be what keeps them out of the end zone and off the scoreboard with a field goal. Great pressure, and I think that's been the story, Gus. The defensive pressure of the front 7 of the Chiefs has really confounded the Bills' ability to protect. This goes from a 4th and 3 from the Kansas City 40 to a 4th and probably 15 from the Bills 48. And with 11 seconds, I can understand why the Bills leave their offense on the field. There's no reason to punt it away and risk giving up a big play or a return. You may as well try for it. If it's not there, see what the Chiefs can do with their 3 timeouts. But that's a big loss, and that puts you down inside your own end of the field. One play would put the Chiefs, it could get into field goal range with one good pass completion. But as we've talked about, Gus, the wind is really bad down in that end of the football field. That'd be a tough kick for Ryan Succop.
So here comes the decision. And it's pretty obvious from where we sit.
Now, Changele doesn't want the timeout. He had called a timeout, and he decided to wave it off.
The quarterback was down prior to throwing the football at the 48-yard line. The ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line where it will be 4th down. By rule, 10 seconds will be taken off the clock. Clock operator, please show 1 on the clock.
And that's...
So now the Bills will just have to take a shot into the end zone. Tamba Hali with the sack. He has 6.5, maybe 7, based on how they will score it today. Ali really putting a lot of pressure on this Buffalo offensive line.
Yeah, now this play takes all the shape and form of a play at the end of the game. Hail Mary pass. The Chiefs will drop 7 guys back 25 yards from the line of scrimmage and then all the way back to the 5-yard line, maybe even the goal line before the ball is even snapped. And they're going to reset the game clock. Obviously, you see on your screen to 3 seconds instead of 1 second. And Buffalo,
3-second timeout. This is also their last of the half.
And Buffalo takes their last timeout.
And to say that the Chiefs are in the prevent defense, I think that's what it's called.
It's like a kickoff return.
Very competitive first half. As usual, Todd Haley gambling.
This is Kansas City Chief football under Todd Haley, however. This is the kind of football they want to play. Hang on to the football. Don't let your opponent have it.
So Fitzpatrick will wind up and throw it. He's got time. Now he's on the move. And that may be another sack. Andy Studebaker. And that's the end of the first half. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 7-0. Welcome back, Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker, and sluggish first half for both teams. Defensive first half for both teams, but on the last drive, the Chiefs put it together, and Jamal Charles was the catalyst.
Yeah, 71-yard drive. He had 67 of those yards. They really went to him a lot, and that's really going to be the difference. He had 36 yards rushing in this drive, you see here, and then 31 yards receiving. And he's been the difference for the Chiefs. He's been the go-to guy for their offense today. Thomas Jones, the other head of that two-headed monster, has 42 yards rushing, and 1 catch for 5 yards. And there's the touchdown pass to Bo. And here's the points of protection from Allstate. As you see, the thing about this game, nobody's turning the football over, Gus. When that happens, it's usually a close ball game. Jamal Charles, 132 yards overall. Fitzpatrick's been on the run, sacked 3 times. That's been the difference. It's kept the wide receivers for the Bills out of the mix. Dwayne Bowe has 5th touchdown in his last 3 games.
The Bills getting close on their last drive to end the first half, so they won the opening toss, deferred, so Buffalo will receive to start the second half. Ryan Suckup will send it away. Spiller is the deep man for Buffalo, along with Andre Anderson. 7-0 the score. Buffalo still fighting. And the second half is underway from KC. Spiller brings it out of the end zone. And Spiller, nifty movement, and gets to the 20. And that is a 20-yard return. Corey Mays with the tackle on special teams. Steve, the first half possessions for the Bills.
Well, there's no secret. This isn't good. I mean, they haven't gotten very many yards, and they've ended up punting. And, of course, there just before halftime, they turned it over on downs. Not a good first half for the Bills offense. And, you know, Gus, when you're trying to get your first win like the Bills are at this point of the season, you'll try anything. And right now, they're going to have to try something different because they have not been successful in the third quarter of their games this season. After halftime, it has really gone south for them. We'll see if they can pick it up today.
First down to the 19 for Ryan Fitzpatrick in the Buffalo offense. The pitch. Spiller around the corner with running room. Oh, he stood up and taken down hard. Eric Berry. That's that rookie safety out of Tennessee, first round pick. And once again, he comes up and delivers a blow. 2-yard gain.
Yeah, in this third quarter, every time you come out of halftime, Gus, is really interesting because you do some adjusting at halftime, make some adjustments to try and get on top of the other team and what they're doing. And in the third quarter after halftime, the Bills have not been able to do that. Last in the NFL in third quarter differential in points.
2nd and 8 at the 21. Fred Jackson, the single setback. And they give it to Freddie Jackson. Not a lot of room. Ron Edwards, the nose guard, first man to him, and it's only a 1-yard gain. So that makes it 3rd down and 7.
Ron Edwards in his 10th year out of Texas A&M, played for the Buffalo Bills for 5 years. Now here in Kansas City since '06.
Buffalo needs to get to the 29.5 for first down. Fred Jackson, the receiver, out of the backfield in the slot. Fitzpatrick underneath. Nice catch. Lee Evans cradling it. And Ryan Fitzpatrick really drilling that football in. 10-yard gain and first down Buffalo.
And I think you'll see some more of this in the second half because of the pressure that the Bills got in that first half. Look for Fitzpatrick to drop back and get the ball out of his hands and not give that Chiefs rush a chance to get in his lap.
Second catch of the day for Evans, 17 yards. Last week, 6 catches, 105 yards, and 3 touchdowns. First down and 10 at the 33. Jackson. And Jackson. Maybe a yard on the play. Glenn Dorsey cleaned him up. But the first man to him was Jovan Belcher.
Well, as they try and get around to the left side, they pull everybody and throw everybody out in front of Freddie Jackson to try and give him some help. The Chiefs rally to the ball, hold him to a short gain. Watch as Wood will come out, go all the way across, along with McIntyre, the fullback. And they try and get to the corner and just can't get there. Well played by the Chief defense.
Second down and 9 at the 34. McIntyre, Jackson in the offset eye. Bill's been very conservative on offense and movement. And I believe that's Corey McIntyre moving in the backfield.
False start, number 38, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Second false start penalty of the day for Buffalo.
Yeah, you look at what this offense has done after a huge day in Baltimore a week ago. They have misfired and really had no chance to get the ball to their outside playmakers. Fitzpatrick's been under constant pressure. And I'll tell you, this Chiefs front seven has gotten better and better throughout the season, and it's hard to have a successful offense when you can't handle that front line of the defense.
Second and 14. Play fake. Far side Spiller. Down the sideline. And Spiller gets out of bounds at the 35. Derek Johnson nudged him out. A gain of 7. But this Romeo Crennel, Kansas City Chiefs defense, I remember when he was in Cleveland as a head coach, they were always kind of a bend but don't break defense. And you see a similar style with these Chiefs. They really know how to keep people in front of them, Steve.
Yeah, and they've simplified. Romeo Crennel is not complicated in his defense, and he lets his players know what they're doing and let them play hard and fast.
Third down and 7. Underneath, great throw. David Nelson again with the catch. Let's see where they spot the football on 3rd and 7. They get 9. Eric Berry, Brandon Carr with the tackle, but Buffalo keeps the chains moving.
Yeah, David Nelson there catching that ball over the middle, kind of reminiscent of the play in overtime last week where Sean Nelson, the tight end, was held up by the Baltimore Ravens and the ball was ripped loose. David Nelson turns up, same thing. They hold him up, trying to fight for extra yards, and everybody's going for the football, does the right thing. Get off your feet and take the first down.
Nelson, a rookie out of the University of Florida. First down at the 45. Jackson. And Jackson with room. Jackson tripped and gets to the Kansas City 45. Javier Arenas with the shoestring tackle. If not, that could have been a bigger gain.
Hey, follows David Martin right up inside. Great block by Martin right on Mike Vrabel to spring Jackson. That's a really nice football play up in between the tackles for the Buffalo Bills. That's as good a running play as they've had all day.
Longest running play of the day. You're right, partner, for the Bills, 9 yards. Second down and 1 at the Kansas City 46. Jackson, McIntyre in the offset eye. Jackson looking for the first down, dives forward and picks it up. And Fred Jackson is what you call, Steve, a great teammate. He came into camp this year after a 1,000-yard season last year, and he was actually the 3rd-string running back behind C.J. Spiller and
Marshawn Lynch.
Lynch.
Yeah, we asked him about it. He said, you know, I wasn't happy about it, but you know, you just had to wait your turn and let it work itself out. And you know, it's interesting too, as you see Freddie Jackson there, his job is to mentor C.J. Spiller so that he can replace him.
First down and 10 at the 42. McIntyre and Spiller now in the backfield. Delayed handoff. Spiller with room. And I thought Fred Jackson was very interesting yesterday when we talked to him, and he said, you know, I think it was you that asked the question, isn't it hard to help somebody that could or most likely will replace you? And he went on to say, yeah, it's hard in a way, but when you're a good teammate, it pays off, because when you're out of the league and you watch this kid play, a piece of me will still be in the league.
No question, and that's football. It's the business that they've chosen. Your teammates first and competitors almost never.
2nd and 6, Spiller. And he lowers his shoulder, gets to the 45. Looks like C.J. Spiller, we saw him opening week against Miami in Buffalo. He's learning how to set up his blocks a little bit better.
Yeah, and he's also turning his shoulders up inside and taking what's there. You know, young guys come out, particularly guys with Spiller's ability. They think they can hit the home run like they did at Clemson. And you see here, a lot of guys will dance around, and you see him duck his shoulder and just move right up inside and take on Tyson Jackson to get that extra yard.
3rd down 3 at the Kansas City 35, empty backfield for Fitzpatrick. Remember, he's a terrific runner as well. Fitzpatrick, and he takes off. 1st down. Ryan Fitzpatrick on the season averaging 7.3 yards per run. 16 carries, 116 yards on the season, and he gets 7.
Well, you were thinking exactly what I thought, guy. You could see it coming. 3-man rush. He drops back, takes a full drop back. The defense is back covering everybody up. You knew that was on his mind to get this 1st down with his legs. He almost didn't even look at the receivers.
Opening drive of the 2nd half for the Buffalo Bills. And they're at the Chiefs' 28-yard line, down 7-0. Spiller and Fred Jackson now split out. Here's the handoff. Jackson bottled up, somehow breaks free. Jackson spinning and gets to the 20-yard line. An 8-yard gain for Fred Jackson. Arenas with the tackle.
Yeah, and Freddie Jackson just keeps going. I mean, this play looked like it had no shot. You see the traffic. He bounces off one tackle by Barry and just keeps going. And the Chiefs got up after that play. We're looking at each other like, how did he get 8 yards out of that?
And on this drive, the Bills have more yards than they had in the entire 1st half. 2nd and 2 at the 20. Fitzpatrick. And a flag. Another false start penalty against Buffalo. Their 3rd.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And for a team with Chan Gailey, a team that has really struggled in this quarter throughout the season, as we showed you the graphic, now coming out and doing some really nice things offensively. I think one difference I see is the fact that the Bills are running up inside the tackles. They stopped trying to get to the edge of the defense and now are running right at it.
They've eaten up 8 minutes and 23 seconds. 2nd and 7 to the 25. Spiller and Jackson. Fitzpatrick throws. Jackson can't hang on to it. It was thrown behind him. Derek Johnson, the Swifty linebacker, covering.
And this was another poor throw by Fitzpatrick. And you see there, this is third quarter of every game. Nobody gets scored on more and scored less points than the Bills. And that's by a wide margin.
3rd down 7 to the 25. Buffalo 3 of 3 on 3rd downs this drive. Empty backfield for Fitzpatrick. He ran for the last 1st down. He needs 7. Here's Fitzpatrick looking, fires, incomplete. He had red jerseys in his face. Wallace Gilberry again close to the quarterback. And that will bring on the field goal unit for Buffalo.
Bills making some offensive adjustments at halftime, coming out and making some progress. Although after the penalty, the illegal procedure penalty, it drives stalls and gives Lindell a chance to get them on the board.
Into attempt a 43-yarder. He's 6 of 6 from 0 to 49 yards this season. It's up and good. 43-yard field goal for Lindell, and Buffalo on the board. 6:02 to play in the third. 7-3, KC. Welcome back, 7-3, Kansas City. And Steve, longest drive in terms of time on the season for Buffalo.
Yeah, 9-minute drives, impressive, particularly at a time in the game when they're, in a time in the game where they have not been successful to this point of the season.
Sure, they would have loved to have gotten 7 points out of it, though. That's the difference. Arenas at the 20. Arenas stopped by Dante Whitner. That's a 21-yard return. 5:55 to play, third quarter, 7-3, Kansas City. Welcome back, 7-3, Kansas City with the lead and the ball. 2011 Pro Bowl balloting has begun for a chance to send your favorite players to Hawaii for the 2011 Pro Bowl. Vote online or on your mobile phone at NFL.com/Pro Bowl. You vote, they play. From the 27-yard line, Matt Castle and the Chiefs will start putting together an excellent drive at the end of the first half to break a scoreless tie. First down. Thomas Jones cuts it back with running room. And Thomas Jones running downhill gets to the 38. Gains 11. Terrell Troop and Marcus Stroud on the tackle.
Yeah, they were lined up double tight end with a lot of offensive linemen up front with 2 wides out to the right, and they just ran off with a weak side toward the Bills defense. Bills didn't know what to do with that formation. They were confused up front, and it cost them 11 yards.
First down at the 38-yard line. Opening drive of the second half for Kansas City. Jones again, this time turns a corner. Big opening for Thomas Jones. Back-to-back impressive runs. George Wilson with the tackle, but he gains 13.
That same formation, same play. If it worked once, it'll work again. You see here Thomas Jones and Kelsey, the outside linebacker, spins back in to try and make the tackle instead of holding the edge. You see Kelsey right there, number 90, tries to spin in thinking Jones is going up inside and gives up the outside lane.
Jones, 13 carries, 66 yards. Jamal Charles checking in. First down at the 49. Play fake. Castle looking across the middle. Incomplete. Drayton Florence, Dante Whitner in the vicinity. Chris Chambers, the intended receiver.
Yeah, the perfect time for a play-action pass. You've just gashed the Bills' defense, and there you see the ball is actually tipped by Posluszny. He got the hand on the football and caused that pass to go incomplete, dropping deep into coverage after the play-action fake. Great job by a fast Posluszny to do both. Jump up on the play fake, then get back into coverage.
Second down and 10 at the 49-yard line. Cox, Thomas Jones in the backfield. Castle sprinting out, sets up the screen on the backside. Nobody home. Now Castle wants to run it. And the quarterback decides not to go down. He gets lucky. Marcus Stroud tenderly drops him down.
Yeah,
a loss of 3.
If anything like that, this is something the Bills really smell it. Watch, Posluszny's going to drop back and get it, and watch Stroud down inside right over here. Stroud on the outside, excuse me, out there to the left. Both those guys, Posluszny had nobody to cover because Cox, the fullback, was in pass protection and dropped off with nobody to cover. He pursued the quarterback.
Third down, 13 at the 48 now. Chiefs are 4 of 8 on third down conversions. Castle over the middle, Bow, and he is taken down, double leg takedown by Posluszny at the 45. He gained 7 on 3rd and 13, and Kansas City will have to punt it away.
Yeah, and that last play by Castle, he should have thrown that football out of bounds, got away. He was way out of the pocket. He could have just thrown it into the first row, but because of that loss, it's 4th and 6 instead of a first down on that pass play.
Roscoe Parrish back deep at the 10. Colquitt will punt from the 42. End over end. Darren Bennett, Aussie kick. And it bounces into the end zone. 3:27 to play in the third. Buffalo will have the football at the 20-yard line, down 7-3. 7-3 Kansas City. Bills with the football at the 20. Now tonight the Amazing Race teams are in Russia, where they'll have to dig for their next clue and make movie magic. Don't miss a new Amazing Race after 60 minutes tonight. Only CBS. So after a nightmarish third quarter last week in Baltimore, different story for Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Buffalo Bills in the third quarter. Their first drive of the second half, close to 9 minutes, resulting in 3 points. 1st and 10 at the 20. Empty backfield for the Harvard quarterback. Fitzpatrick. That one deflected at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Edwards got a hand on it. Lions taking on the Redskins. Here's JB.
Hey, Gus, a Detroit field goal attempt, flag called on the Skins, new set of downs. Detroit capitalizes. Stafford to Brendan Pettigrew, 2-yard strike. The deficit is now 1. Washington, 14-13 Detroit. Back to Gus and Steve.
All right, JB, 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line now. For the Buffalo Bills, C.J. Spiller, Fred Jackson, both in the game. Here's the pitch to Spiller. Cuts it back. Tries to break a tackle. Can't do it. Jovan Belcher again. Man, is he a tough linebacker. Those linebackers, Belcher and Johnson and Ali with the veteran Vrabel. Formidable unit.
Yeah, Vrabel makes this play. They've got Stevie Johnson trying to block Mike Vrabel, and he can't get it done. I mean, there you see Vrabel's the guy with the push Stevie Johnson off him and then force Spiller back into the pursuit. Mike Vrabel getting up 5 yards away from the tackle, but he's the guy responsible for it.
3rd down and 11 at the 19. Bills need to go to the 30-yard line. And here come the Kansas City faithful on their feet. One of the loudest buildings in the NFL. Fitzpatrick steps up, looks, wants to run. Oh, and he lowers his shoulder. He wanted that first down. Instead of sliding, he went for it, but he'll be shy of the 30-yard line, and they'll have to punt it away. Studebaker and Donald Washington preventing him from getting there.
And it's all the little things that both these teams are getting bitten by. The Bills coming down with a couple of illegal procedure penalties, leading to having a drive stall for a field goal in this one. A negative play on the play before this leaves Ryan Fitzpatrick just that much shy of being able to convert that first down.
Ryan Moorman punting from the 14-yard line. Another beautiful punt. Arenas picks it up at his own 20. And Arenas still running. And Arenas downed at the 30, a 51-yard punt, 12-yard return. Garrison Sanborn with the special teams tackle. Happy Halloween from CBS, folks. We've got some spooky and kooky guys in the truck. 1st down and 10 at the 31. Here's a handoff, Jamal Charles with another lane. And Charles all the way up to midfield. When in doubt, give it to Jamal. Whitner and Bird with the tackle. It's a gain of 18, and he's gone over 100 yards.
Well, we said it in the first half. You don't just stop the Kansas City Chiefs once in a while with the run, because they're going to keep on running. And Jamal Charles off the left side of his offense finds a lane. And you said it, Gus, another lane, and he's got another gear as well.
Now 7 career 100-yard rushing games for Charles. 10 carries, 104 today. Once again, Charles, man. I tell you what, this kid is electric. Whitner with the tackle. 13-yard gain. And both Charles and Jones have been great.
Yeah, Jamal Charles, you see how fast he is, up in between the tackles, out of the backfield. Thomas Jones, who is a jackhammer of a runner. This guy's really physical. Both these guys complementing each other so well in that offensive line. The more you run it, Gus, the better they get.
1st down at the 39. Charles once again. And Charles gets close to the 35. Reggie Torbor with the tackle, a 3-yard gain. Reggie Torbor was interesting yesterday too, Steve. First of all, he came in and his finger is so dislocated that it's scary. It's a Halloween type finger as a linebacker, but at the same time, he said, I rebuilt in New York with the Giants, won a Super Bowl, did the same thing with Miami. I feel like we're on the way with Buffalo. We'll return to Kansas City after this message and a word from your local station. Tight ball game in Kansas City. Chiefs holding on to a 7-3 lead. And I tell you what, Steve, that third quarter went by quickly.
Well, you run the football, complete your passes, don't take penalties, and the time just gets away.
Second down, 7 at the 36. Thomas Jones back in the game. Copper, the motion man. Here's Jones, cuts it back and runs right into a Bill. Kyle Williams has been wonderful today.
Yeah, he has been a bright spot. I mean, he's one of those guys, whenever you do Bills games, we've done a couple of them this year, every team you play, the offense always says that guy is the guy you got to go. And he's going against Brian Waters right there.
A four-time Pro Bowler,
yeah,
by the way.
Brian Waters is no slouch. He's a player. And Kyle Williams, I mean, the fast motor, he's inside down there. He's a big guy and very explosive.
Third down, 7 at the 36. Is this 4-down territory for Todd Haley's offense? The handoff. And it's Charles. He will not pick up the first down, gets to the 30, so here's the decision.
Yeah.
Once again, are they going for it or will they kick the field goal?
He's not even, nobody even budged on the sideline. Todd Haley put up the stiff arm.
They're going for it.
And, you know, on the 3rd and 7, you knew it. 3rd and 7, they hand the football off. Charlie Weiss calls the running play. You knew Charlie Weiss had 2 downs to get it. If you're handing it off on 3rd and 7 in the NFL, you're going for it on 4th.
Well, they need a yard. Last time we saw this situation, the Bills stopped them. The pitch, Charles cuts it up, and he should have it.
And the near side official has it, and I think they're going to give it to him. I think that's enough. He had to reach the 29-yard line, and it's really close. They're outside the hashes, so it's hard to see how far he gets, but you knew they weren't going to throw the football here on this 4th down like they did earlier. And Todd Haley thinks they got it.
And they did.
And I think that's the real intelligence of going for it on 4th down. Don't wait till 4th down to decide you're going to do that. And it changes the play selection on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And Todd Haley said that's the one thing that I've learned. I'll tell Charlie Weiss that we're in 4-down territory at the beginning of the drive so that he knows on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down not to just air it out, just out of course.
First down and 10 at the 29. Castle rolling, looking, cuts it inside. Castle slides and is safe at the 20. A gain of 8.
Great run by Castle, great decision. He made it fast. Gives him a 2nd and 2. Watch this, it's a bootleg. It's not there immediately. He sees that the defense is pursued to the sideline too far, and there's a huge dead spot in there. And on 1st down, that's what you want to do. Go in, slide, get the big positive.
2nd and 2. Thomas Jones. A gain of 5. Jacksonville at Dallas today. Here's JB in New York.
Gus and Steve, off of a Dallas pick, David Garrard makes them pay, going back across the field to Mercedes Lewis. 9-yard pass play. Garrard, 15 of 17, 238 yards, a career high, 4 touchdown tosses. Jacksonville's banking Dallas. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker.
Wow, 28-3.
Spanking Dallas.
They are spanking him, Steve.
Don't sugarcoat it, JB. Tell us what you really think.
I'm sure that Jerry Jones will not be a happy man after this day. 1st and 10 at the 17. Thomas Jones. And Jones gets to the 11.
You know, this is getting down close to the goal line, Gus, as the Chiefs pounded in there last week in the red zone. They were outstanding. Kansas City's offense was unstoppable in the red zone. Against Jacksonville, they scored a touchdown on all 4 red zone possessions. in a 42-20 win. And Gus, when you can run the football like the Chiefs can, that's what that means, a red zone offense that's successful.
How about this? 10th play of the drive, all rushing plays for Kansas City. 2nd and 4 at the 11. Another handoff. And this time, Thomas Jones taken down in the backfield. Kyle Williams, once again, the nose guard.
Well, you wonder why the guy jumps out on film, and he does. Watch, right inside, a hard inside fast move. Gets there just as Thomas Jones takes the handoff. And then a guy like Kyle, you latch on Gus, and you hang on to Thomas Jones when he's got his legs planted trying to get away from you and not letting go. What kind of grip does that take to hit a guy in the backfield? Wow.
A loss of 4 on the play. 3rd down and 8 at the 15. Big play for Buffalo. They want to get off the field. Castle. Guy has to throw it underneath. And Posluszny there again for the tackle. A 5-yard gain, and this time Todd Haley won't mess around. He's going to kick the field goal and take the points.
Yeah, and that was a quick, there was no consideration. They had known that this was going to be a field goal attempt. Kyle Williams comes out, gets in Castle's face. Nice throw by Castle right over the top down the middle.
Copper with the catch, so Ryan Suckup comes on to attempt a 28-yarder. Up and good. 10-3. 9:36 to go in the 4th. Kansas City. Welcome back to Kansas City. 10-3. Chiefs with the lead over the Bills. Interesting stat right here, Steve.
Yeah, 10 rushes, 1 pass. And you wonder, is it because they don't trust Matt Castle? I don't think so. This is philosophical. This is Parcellian. I mean, this is conservative, hard-nosed football. Win games 10-7.
Spiller from the goal line. And Spiller upended at the 16-yard line. Great looking play by Varan Tucker. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's coming up on the Subway postgame show. 1st down and 10 at the 17-yard line for Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bills. Down 10-3. Jackson running straight ahead. And Fred Jackson gets to the 24, maybe the 25, a 7-yard gain. Mike Vrabel with the tackle. They've been a lot more successful in the second half, Steve, running right at Kansas City's defense.
Yeah, we noticed in that first drive that took up 9 minutes of the clock, the Bills started to run between the tackles instead of trying to get to the edge and letting the running backs cut back. They do a belly play a lot in other games where they hand the ball off to Freddie Jackson or Spiller going right and have him cut back left, or hand it off left and cut back right. Not now. You're going right between the tackles.
2nd and 3 at the 24. And this time it's Jackson breaking a tackle. And Jackson scooped up by Brandon Flowers. On 2nd and 3, he gains 2, so that brings up 3rd and short.
Excellent tackle by Brandon Flowers. Freddie Jackson open field, and Flowers just doesn't bite. Great open field tackle.
3rd year out of Virginia Tech. Brandon Flowers is a tough customer. Got a bad call a couple of weeks ago against Houston. Andre Johnson with the push-off. He got flagged. And the Texans ended up winning the game. But they give Buffalo a 1st down there. From the 27. Jackson got enough. Johnson in motion. Here's the handoff. Jackson trying to turn the corner. And no room at all. Brandon Carr, the cornerback.
Yeah, watch as Eric Wood is going to come around and pull out, and Freddie Jackson gets out ahead of him. Instead of coming in and getting behind Eric Wood, he gets ahead of his blockers, Levitri and Wood. You see Wood's trying to come out. Wood should be out blocking both those one of those defensive backs. He can't get out there because Freddie Jackson is there too fast.
2nd and 10 at the 27. Fitzpatrick looking. Finds Johnson. And Johnson wrestled down at the 32. He gains 5 on the play. Steve Johnson stopped by Brandon Carr and Mike Vrabel. So that brings up 3rd down and 5.
And we've seen it here in this second half. The Bills have been much more effective running up inside the tackles, and they've also switched to a passing game where Ryan Fitzpatrick goes back 3 steps and wings it. They cannot stand in the pocket because of the pressure.
Here's a question for Buffalo. Are they in 4-down territory with 7 minutes to go? 3rd down 5 at the 32. Fitzpatrick in the gun. Fitzpatrick with time over the middle. Steve Johnson. Oh, he lost it. Picked up. Barry still on his feet. And wait a minute.
Yeah, they called him down back where Stevie Johnson went down. He landed, and one of the officials called it down, and the others didn't know, so the others let the play out. We'll see. The fans don't like it, but Stevie Johnson's going to catch this, and there he's down. The ball comes out after he's down, and that's a good call by the officials. I thought it would probably do that, and the officials, you saw them all start to run to the spot, and then when the ball came loose, they let it go because they understand that if it is a fumble and they just missed it, the Chiefs deserve to have a chance to advance it. But the field judge came in and said, no, he was down.
So on 3rd down and 5, the Bills got 9 yards. 1st down and 10 at their own 41. 6 minutes to go in the 4th. And some movement on the left side. Another
False start. Number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
4 false start penalties. That one on Demetrius Bell, the left tackle. And sometimes you can't blame the players because it gets so loud in here.
It is loud, and you can see Eric Wood and Demetrius Bell are completing their case. One of the Chiefs defenders twitched and forced them to react. The problem is I don't think the Chief defender was in the neutral zone. They have to come across the line of scrimmage. They're saying that one of the Chiefs players jumped, and I didn't see it. No, it was a nice case to try and make, but I didn't see it. That was a good call by the official.
1st down and 15 at the 36. Fitzpatrick underneath. Johnson, nice turn after the catch, and he gets down at the 44-yard line, 7-yard gain.
And now the Bills are starting to have an answer for the pressure that the Chiefs brought in the first half. A 4-man rush, and Fitzpatrick getting rid of the football on time. And that was the difference in the first half, as Fitzpatrick didn't seem to be too sure of where he was going to go with the football and held on to it too long, and it cost the Bills chances.
2nd down and 8 at the 43. Fitzpatrick going up top. Lee Evans incomplete. Working on Brandon Flowers, but he was running stride for stride with Evans.
Well, you said it a few weeks ago. Brandon Flowers on this exact play was called for defensive pass interference here, playing the football, gets in front of Lee Evans and cuts him off. This is almost an impossible catch. Evans almost comes down with it, and you see there it misses him, and then he pulls Flowers away from it. Great play on both players for that, Flowers and Evans, keeping Flowers from having a chance to pick it off.
Big play for Buffalo. 3rd and 8 at the 43. They're 6 of 14 on 3rd down conversions. Fitzpatrick fires. Fitzpatrick! Roscoe Parrish! And he's got the 1st down at the 20. Big play, Roscoe. Somehow got by his man and gains 37 yards.
Now, Roscoe Parrish has not been called much in this game. Goes right down on the fade route from the inside slot position. It gives him extra room to the sideline. Really puts Flowers in a tough spot. You can't defend it from the inside because there's no sideline. Great call by Chan Gailey.
So the Bills convert on a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 5, and a 3rd and 8. Now 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 20. Fitzpatrick breaks contain, turns a corner, and the Harvard quarterback, tough as nails, slides down inside. the 15, and it's a gain of 6.
Just said it. I mean, you say all the things you want about Ryan Fitzpatrick, about he's a Harvard graduate, he's a thinker, he understands defenses and protections. The guy is a scrappy, tough runner with the football, and he's a bulldog, and I think that's one of the things that endears him to Chan Gailey.
Second down and 4 at the 14. So much on the line for Buffalo, looking for their first win of the season. They throw it out wide, Evans, and Evans taken down, lost the ball. Kansas City has it. Brandon Flowers with another great hit. But the question is, was Evans down?
Well, the thing about this Kansas City secondary, they are very good tacklers, and that is a fumble from that angle. No question about it. The ball popped loose. Watch as Evans tries to get outside. He's not down, and the ball is out before his elbow comes down. Vrabel's right there to scoop it up. What a great tackle and play by Brandon Flowers.
4 minutes to play. Fourth quarter, 10-3, Kansas City.
As you saw just before we went to commercial, Chan Gailey challenged the play as a fumble. No question it was a fumble, but here's the rub. Mike Vrabel comes out to recover this fumble. Now, if a player touches the ball, a live ball in the field of play, and he's touching the out of bounds, he's out of bounds, and so is the ball right there. Vrabel's arm is on the chalk, and he's touching the football. Therefore, he doesn't have possession, and the last team with possession will get the football back. This is going to be Buffalo's ball because Vrabel touches the football while he's touching the out-of-bounds line, and he does not have possession of the football. You can see the ball bouncing around in between his legs. There's no question it's a fumble, but as Vrabel comes in, he doesn't have possession, and his arm is on the chalk. That means it will be Buffalo's football at that spot. And depending on where that spot is of the down and distance, it could be
at the 13-yard line.
At the 13-yard line.
3rd and 3.
And that was a really heads-up, outstanding challenge by Chan Gailey, because and I did it too. You kind of get caught up in the fact of was it a fumble or was it not, and you forget about you got to recover it legally, and that close to the sidelines, it's always an issue. You see the ball come out, but Vrabel right there. He doesn't have control of the football, and his arm is out of bounds. And that means the ball is dead right there. And the last team that had possession retains possession. That would be the Buffalo Bills.
Big decision coming up for Buffalo. Mike Vrabel, world champion with the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and it's not like he made a bad play. And Brandon Flowers made an outstanding play. When those two young defensive backs, we've seen Brandon Flowers make a number of great tackles, even on this last drive by the Buffalo Bills.
Kansas City touches the loose ball while it's out of bounds. Therefore, the ball is deemed to be out of bounds. The ball will belong to Buffalo. It will be 3rd down at the 13-yard line. Buffalo will not the timeout.
You explained it perfectly, partner. So Buffalo gets another chance. 3rd down, 3 at the 13. So what do you do, Steve, if you don't get a touchdown here? Do you kick the field goal? You have 3 timeouts left and the 2-minute warning.
Well, here's my thought. Even if you get the touchdown, you still have to stop the Chiefs. So why not take the points and stop them anyway? Even if you still have to stop them with 4 minutes left on the clock. You need the points. But I think, we'll have to see, but I would take the points as a penalty.
No, it's a timeout called by Kansas City prior to the snap. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's coming up on the Subway postgame show. What do you do if you're the Bills, Steve? You need a touchdown. Field goals don't help you here.
Yeah, 2 field goals don't help you. It's 4-down territory because you've got to stop the Chiefs even if you were to score a touchdown, and it's better to go for it on 4th and have them drive 90 yards or 89 yards from their 10-yard line to try and get in and add points onto their total, but they're going to be trying to kill the clock. The Bills are going to have to get them off the field, but right now I think there's no question the Bills have got to get it in the end zone.
3rd down and 3 at the 13. They spread it out, empty backfield for Fitzpatrick. Remember, he can run. Fitzpatrick drops back, fires, Spiller needs that 1st down and gets it. Out of bounds. Nice throw by Fitzpatrick as C.J. Spiller.
Oh, this is a crucial spot.
And picks up the 1st.
And the people down in that corner don't like the spot, but it looked like he extended the ball across. A little quick screen. 3 Chiefs, and Spiller's got to get to the yard line, as you see right there to the 15-yard line. Trying to go right behind Lee Evans. And there you see the spot, and they get the 1st down.
So 1st down and goal at the 10-yard line. Now it gets hard for Buffalo. Fitzpatrick looking, screen, Jackson, seen, and Jackson taken down at the 7-yard line. Mike Vrabel with the tackle, a 3-yard gain.
What a wily veteran Vrabel is. He looked out of that play. Freddie Jackson walked right by him on the screen pass. Vrabel comes back to make the tackle. It looked like Freddie Jackson was going to wiggle that screen pass right into the end zone, and Vrabel, curling back after the play was past him, made the tackle.
2nd down, goal at the 7. 3:20 and counting. As Fitzpatrick heads to the line of scrimmage. Jackson with him in the backfield. Steve Johnson in motion. Fitzpatrick with time. Dances. Ducks under. And gets to the 4. Another 3-yard pickup. As Mike Vrabel, first man to him.
Well, this is so crucial for the Bills, having a quarterback like Fitzpatrick who's comfortable ducking his head and running, because it comes in and gives you a 3rd down inside the 5 rather than throwing the football away and giving you a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 7.
14th play of the drive that started at the Buffalo 17. 3rd down, goal at the 4. Fitzpatrick again. Looking. Deflected. Whoa, what a dangerous play. Tamba Hali got a hand on the football, and that brings up 4th down and goal.
Well, this is a screen pass to Freddie Jackson. He comes up, and the Chiefs are all over it. Tamba Hali rushes the passer, and Derrick Johnson does nothing but watch Freddie Jackson.
Biggest play of the game here, folks. Buffalo 0-6. Trying to tie this up. 2:23 to go. 4th down and goal from the Kansas City 4. Fitzpatrick throws. Johnson caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. What a throw. Ryan Fitzpatrick put that ball in a shoebox.
And that is very close, but I think it is a good touchdown. Absolutely no question. Todd Haley is going to challenge this immediately. They don't think Freddie or the Stevie Johnson got in. I don't think there's any question. His elbow touched, but I think the ball was across. They called it a touchdown. There's no question it's close. But you can see there, Todd Haley saying his elbow was down before the ball crossed the plane of the goal line. And that's a good challenge.
A touchdown. Timeout.
But I think if you're out in the field of play, there's no question that would be across the line. And I think it'll stand, but we'll see.
Wow. Big challenge here. Was he in? You make the call. Ooh. Elbow.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by FedEx. We understand you need a winning game plan. FedEx.
Well, because this was called a touchdown on the field, I think it will stand. Now, there's a question, there's no question that Steve Johnson's elbow touches the ground, but it's also a question of when Brandon Carr touches him. He's not down until he's touched. Now, you see, and right there, you see, you think he's being touched right there. But, man, that is so razor thin. I don't think there's enough there to overturn it. You see there, just as he touched, you can see Johnson's jersey get pulled by the fact that Carr touches him, but by that time the ball is over. And you can't see exactly when his elbow hits at that angle. So there's no way you can overturn this because it was called a touchdown. Boy, I don't know if you can overturn it with that. I think it stands. But I'll tell you what, you'll rarely see a touchdown closer than that.
The ruling on the field stands. It is a touchdown. Kansas City will be charged for a timeout.
And Kansas City now with only one timeout left. 5th consecutive game for this young man out of the Bay Area who played his college football at Kentucky. And he scored a touchdown, ties a franchise record. Ryan Liddell comes in to attempt the extra point and tie this game up. And we are all tied at 10. A 15-play drive covering 83 yards. The Bills eat up 7 minutes and 18 seconds. And with 2:18 remaining, Todd Haley's Chiefs will get another crack at him. This is the 5th straight game. Steve Johnson has scored a touchdown. Week 3 at New England, 37 yards. Week 4 versus the Jets, 13 yards. Week 5 versus Jacksonville, Johnson scored 2 touchdowns. And last week against Baltimore, 33 yards. And now he scores the game-tying touchdown right here.
Well, and this is a little bit, and you look at the list that Steve Johnson's a part of now. Some big names in Buffalo history. Elbert Golden Wheels DeBinion, Eric Mosley Evans, and now Steve Johnson. But you talk about this game and how it's going with 2:18 left. Now the Chiefs with one timeout. Now the run game isn't quite as big a part of their diet as it normally is. I think Matt Castle's going to have to do some things to help this team move down the field. And at this point, you got to think it means that the Chiefs are going to have to beat the Bills left-handed here with 2 minutes left, at least to get the lead.
So Lindell will kick it away. Arenas standing at his own goal line. And Lindell kicks this one through the end zone. So Kansas City will get the football at the 20-yard line. Matt Castle trotting on the field tonight on 60 Minutes. Where does Reagan's former budget chief think your taxes are going? His answers may surprise you. Come along for a ride with the greatest filly in racing history. Tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS. So where do they need to go to get Ryan Succop in field goal range?
35-yard line is the target line of the Buffalo Bills.
First down and 10. Kansas City with one timeout and the 2-minute warning. Castle underneath, Bo with the catch. And Bo gets to the 21. Was Lusney with the tackle, and it's a gain of 7.
Yeah, and this kind of hurry-up offense is, and they're going to let them go to the 2-minute warning. This is not the Chiefs and what they like to do. This hurry-up, spread it out, and throw it offense is not the Chiefs' forte. But in this situation, they got to come to it, and Matt Castle is the guy that's got to make it work.
Matt Castle, 2 minutes to go. Game tied at 10. How my Lions doing, man? 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Buffalo and Kansas City tied at 10. As Matt Castle brings his offense out. 2nd and 3 at the 27. Charles running left. And he gets close to the 30. Buffalo coming back in this game. A great pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Steve Johnson to tie this game up. Kansas City now, 1 timeout remaining. Castle with 5 career game-winning drives. 3rd and 1. Castle looking over the middle and complete. Under pressure. Dwan Edwards in the face of Matt Castle.
Yeah, and this is one where the convention says punt this thing away as far as you can. And Todd Haley's going to let the play clock go all the way down. As you see here, Kyle Williams, and then as you see Dwan Edwards up through the middle. And they're going to stay on the field offensively.
And they're going to go for it. On 4th and 1 at the 29. Castle dives forward. Did he get it?
There's a timeout by the Chiefs. Todd Haley took a timeout just before the snap.
So now the Chiefs are out of timeouts.
And I think that the fact that Todd Haley just is not afraid to go to overtime. And he wanted to see how the Bills would react to a quick setup and a quick snap by the Chiefs. And when he saw the Bills were ready for it, he said, forget it, I'm not risking it. You see there, he's yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like it. Didn't like the change. He took the timeout.
Now he's going to punt the football.
That's a smart play. And at this point, since you're punting the football away, you're probably not going to need that timeout anyway.
Ryan Succop make that Dustin Colquitt from the 15-yard line. And Roscoe Parrish is back deep inside his own 30. Beautiful punt by Colquitt. Pushes Parrish back to the 15. Roscoe spinning up the sideline. Roscoe Parrish, and he gets close to midfield. Big play. Roscoe does it again. Copper knocks him out of bounds. A 55-yard punt, a 33-yard return.
Well, it was a gutsy catch by Parrish, and you see the little spin move, and that's what did it and gave him the gap down the sideline. Colquitt does the right thing. Get on the sideline if you're a punter. Make the guy cut it back inside to the pursuit. Colquitt does the job and makes this play for the Chiefs to keep it from being a catastrophe.
1:17 to go. Buffalo 0-6. The only team in the league not to win a game this year. 3 timeouts left. Fitzpatrick over the middle. Johnson almost picked that one off once again. He almost had one in the first quarter.
Yep, Derek Johnson almost caught Ryan Fitzpatrick's first pass of the day, and he dropped the last pass he just threw as well. Both of them right in his hands. That one was a big one to drop for the Kansas City Chiefs.
2nd down and 10 at the 48. Fred Jackson lines up as a receiver at the bottom of your screen. They're trying to get to about the 38-yard line underneath. And this kid, David Nelson, folks, has been a go-to receiver today. Another catch. He's a rookie out of Florida that gains 9 yards.
He also had a couple of clutch catches in the waning moments of regulation a week ago against Baltimore when the Bills were able to put it into overtime.
As you take a look at the target line for Ryan Lindell, his long on the season, 49 yards. He's 7 for 7 from 49 yards and in this year.
He has 18 kicks of 50 yards or longer.
Lindell with 3 career game-winning field goals.
You talk about the key sequences that have happened. You see there the field and where they have to go.
Van Galen searching for answers. He told us he was trying to figure this thing out. He saw improvement in their loss in overtime last week to Baltimore. They planned on building on that momentum this week, and they have. 3rd and 1, a minute left. Here's the pitch. Jackson dives and gets to the 40, and that's a first down. Clock keeps running with 50 seconds to go. Buffalo 2 timeouts, Kansas City out of timeouts.
And the Buffalo Bills run 2 tight ends and McIntyre, the fullback, off the field and bring 3 wide receivers back on. They go empty again.
First down at the KC 41. Fitzpatrick up high, window! Buried! And he's down at the 40. The rookie.
The ball comes out of Fitzpatrick's hands. Either it got tipped, it just slipped out of his hand. That ball just wiggles out of his hand. He loses his grip on it right in the middle of his throwing motion, and it goes right into the arms of Eric Berry.
20 seconds to go. No timeout for Kansas City. 3 receivers at the bottom. Castle, known for being able to throw the long ball. And he's sacked. Kyle Williams again gets to him. And that may be the final play of regulation, as Castle walks toward the sideline.
Unbelievable that Ryan Fitzpatrick drops back, and for the first and only time today, the ball just slips out of his hand at the most crucial moment of the game for the Bills. I mean, you can see it. I mean, he caught, and it just flips out of his hands high as though he didn't have a grip on it at all. And this game, and for the Bills, second week in a row, looks like, and you see there, the ball just, the top of the ball, the front half of the ball flips up in the air as he lets it go. And yeah, you see it all the time when you practice this game, and you see it in practice, but for the first time today, you haven't seen either quarterback struggle with that, and for whatever reason, Ryan Fitzpatrick lofts one into the secondary.
So we end regulation with this game tied at 10.
Has 2 timeouts. All replay challenges will be from upstairs. 4th quarter timing rules will apply. Your choice. He called tails.
Let's go get the money, baby. Let's
You want the ball. Buffalo.
Buffalo wins the toss, and he's heard it.
Ryan Fitzpatrick will get another shot. Overtime on Halloween in KC. Overtime in Kansas City. We're tied at 10, and Steve, take us through the overtime rule.
Well, as you just saw, they decided with a coin toss. It's 1 period. Each team gets 2 timeouts, and all the close plays will be reviewed upstairs. They'll do it immediately without being asked. And of course, whoever scores wins by hook or crook. If you can do it, you win.
So Kansas City will send it away. C.J. Spiller coming up, fields it at the 6. Spiller gets to the 25 and spins down at the 30. Tackle made by Jackie Battle on special teams, a 22-yard return. Let's take a look at how Buffalo managed to get back in this game.
Well, it was a drive that ended up getting thrown to Lee Evans on a controversial out-of-bounds touch by Vrabel, and then the quick strike to Stevie Johnson there that gave him on a 4th and 4 to get to the touchdown, and that put it into overtime. The Bills win the toss, and this is 1st and 10.
At the 29-yard line. Parrish on the reverse. Roscoe Parrish gets to the 42-yard line. And a flag on the play thrown in the secondary, in the Kansas City secondary. That's a 13-yard run.
Oh, goodness. He threw that from 35 yards away, and now it's going to be against the Chiefs.
A face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, number 50, defense. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Mike Vrabel.
And that was thrown way back from the secondary. Right there you see it, and yeah, there you see trying to use the quarterback's face mask to push off. And you can't do that. Now the Bills need about 10 yards for a legitimate try. Anything more is gravy.
1st down and 10 at the 43. Johnson in motion. Fitzpatrick to throw. Rolling out. Fitzpatrick on the move and just dumps it out of bounds. Wise decision by the 3.2 cumulative grade point average at Harvard in economics.
He didn't want to tell you his GPA yesterday because he knew you'd get it on the air, but here he comes out, and this is something that the Bills need. I mean, you got to remember, you get into overtime, and the thing you have to remember is all those things at the end of the game are gone. You have all the time in the world. You can run the football, you can use the field, you can throw over the middle. You need to relax and run your offense as best you can.
2nd and 10 at the 43 to the sideline, incomplete. Lee Evans, the intended receiver. That brings up 3rd down and 10. Interesting decision for Chan Gailey. What do you run here?
Yeah, if you can get, and I'll tell you, if you get this ball 5 yards further up the field or 6 or 7,
you kick it.
You can try a field goal in this stadium. Now, it's a big win, but even Lindell put the kickoff after they sent it to overtime, or after they scored their touchdown, clear back 5 yards deep in the end zone. So he's got the leg, perhaps. It's going to be a huge decision.
3rd and 10 at the 43. Fitzpatrick dumps it off. Jackson at the 40, and he may have gotten enough room to give Lindell a chance. A 3-yard gain.
Well, they're going to punt it. That's too far. And if you're going to try a 59-yarder, you got to remember, if you miss it, the Chiefs get the ball at their own 49-yard line. So Mormon will come in, and this plays right into the Chiefs' hands, I believe, because now they can run the football. Forget about that 2-minute stuff at the end of regulation where they had to hurry. They can take their time and run the football to get into field goal range.
Mormon, end over end kick, and it bounces into the end zone. A net of 20 yards on a 40-yard punt. So here comes Matt Castle. He'll start from his own 20.
And this is the crucial element right now. The Chiefs can line up in 2 tight ends, 1 wide out and 2 backs, and keep pounding that rock. They've had a great rushing day thus far. Jamal Charles with great numbers. You can bet that they'll hand this football off.
Charles with 128 yards rushing on 15 carries. Here's Charles with an opening and gets to the 30. Canes 10. Posluszny and Stroud on the tackle.
And this is, you think at the back to the end of regulation, this is what Todd Haley knew. Overtime does not scare a team that can run the football and possess it. And the only thing that he had to worry about was the coin flip, and they've dodged that at this point.
Charles again. Breaks it back. Charles dives forward and gets to the 44. A 14-yard gain. Dwan Edwards with the tackle.
This is what we've seen. As you see, Asamoah pulling around, getting his first start today at the guard spot, pulling through the hole and leading Charles down into the secondary of the Bills.
This time it's Thomas Jones. And Jones submarines down at the 47. Picks up 3.
These overtime rules have been controversial for a long time. Everybody was up in arms that you win the coin flip, you go down and you kick a field goal, and everybody wins the game, and neither team, the other team doesn't get to possess the football. Not so today. The Bills had their opportunity, made some good plays, got inside Chiefs territory, and now have to defend the Chiefs run game.
2nd and 7, Castle to pass. Castle to the sideline, knocked up, oh, and incomplete. Beautiful play, Drayton Florence. And he popped that ball high in the air.
It's a great play by Florence. It looked for a moment it was going to be catastrophic for the Chiefs to be intercepted. Then all of a sudden, Bo looked like he was going to catch the tip. I mean, you just have, in this situation, Gus, you have to look at everything as an opportunity. Never get down. You just keep your antenna up and play your position, waiting for your chance to contribute.
3rd down, 7 at the 46. Castle in the shotgun. Pump fake. Wants to run. Can he get there? No, the Bills stop him at midfield. A 5-yard gain, Leotis McKelvin. And that brings up 4th down and 2. And KC will punt it away.
And it looks like Castle breaks contain. It looked like he was going to get it. Stroud tried to pull him down, and then McKelvin comes up and stops Castle short.
Colquitt will punt from the 36-yard line. Roscoe Parrish, so dangerous. Back deep. And this one out of bounds inside the 15. A 39-yard punt. Beautifully done by Colquitt. So Ryan Fitzpatrick will get another shot. Game tied at 10 here in overtime. 10:50 to play in the extra session. And the Bills in the second half have actually outplayed Kansas City, and they put together some tremendous drives, eating up a lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, and they solved the problems they had in the first half with the pressure of Kansas City. They've started to protect Fitzpatrick better, both with philosophically getting the ball out of his hands faster, plus the protection has been better when he's needed it, and that's been the difference.
Lindell needs the 38-yard line. 1st down at the 10. Parrish. Roscoe Parrish. And he gets to the 21. A 12-yard gain. Mike Vrabel. Dorsey on the tackle.
When you talk about this, Gus, this is a difference between Chan Gailey and Todd Haley. Todd Haley would never think of throwing the football in this kind of situation, particularly with their run game. But Chan Gailey's got that philosophy. Get the ball to the guys who can do the most damage no matter what the situation, because that's your best opportunity to move the ball and score.
1st down and 10 to the 22. McIntyre, Jackson. Line up. Jackson between the tackles. And Jackson leaning forward for the 3-yard gain. Derek Johnson with the stop.
One thing we hadn't talked about, and we talked to both coaches about this, is Todd Haley, if people remember, fired Chan Gailey just before the start of last season because they had a difference in philosophy. They liked each other. Chan Gailey, both coaches acknowledged to us, Chan told Todd Haley, hey, it's going to be tough for us to work together. But Todd Haley knew he was the best option. But when push came to shove, he had to make the move and fire Gailey. No hard feelings on either side.
Fitzpatrick rolling, throws on the run. Out of bounds. And both coaches were very candid about the situation that took place last year.
Well, in football, there's different denominations. And sooner or later, the theology gets in the way, and there's a split in the church, and you got to go your separate ways.
Well said, partner. said. Burns out at 7 at the 25. Fitzpatrick in the shotgun. Looking, fires, caught at the 40. Lee Evans, a 17-yard gain at Buffalo, picks up the first down.
And this is what we've seen and talked to other teams about. The Buffalo Bills are an 0-6 team that continues to work hard, has continued to prepare well and play hard in all situations and given themselves a chance to win football games, but have not been able to do so. This is why a team like Buffalo scares the Kansas City Chiefs before this game kicks off on Sunday afternoon. They know this team is going to be there for 60 minutes.
First down and 10 at the 42. C.J. Spiller, the receiver, at the top of your screen. As Buffalo spreads out KC once again. Fitzpatrick fires. He's got a receiver. Evans out of bounds. Inside Kansas City territory. At the 37, a 21-yard gain, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is naturally throwing the rock.
Well, Lee Evans in the slot right here. Watch Spiller. He comes in and grabs all the attention. 3 Chiefs jump on Spiller, and Fitzpatrick sees it and makes the shot downfield to Evans.
So already, they're right at the target line for Lindell. First down and 10 at the 37. McIntyre and Jackson, and now timeout.
Yeah, and Haley saw them line up in a run formation. He wants to talk it over.
8:22 to go in overtime. Here come the Bills. 8:22 remaining in overtime. Our score is tied at 10 apiece between the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Ryan Fitzpatrick in this Buffalo offense, terrific in the second half. In the first half, they had 58 total yards. In the second half, 243, and they're in Lindell's range. First down and 10 at the 37. Fitzpatrick to throw. Up top, he's got Spiller. Incomplete.
Well, that was a great call and a great look by Chan Gailey. What he did was he went out in the same run formation as he did before, but he traded Freddie Jackson out and put Spiller in. Then when the Chiefs bellied up to the bar to stop the run, he put Spiller out as split out and got Derek Johnson manned up on him and went for the touchdown. Great strategic move by Chan Gailey, even if it didn't pay off.
Second and 10 at the 37. Fitzpatrick, incomplete, intended for David Nelson. And that makes it third down and 10.
You talk about this, how the Bills were throwing the football here in overtime last week, giving up the fumble in overtime that cost them the opportunity to kick the field goal. There you see Lindell getting ready. 3 for 3 in overtime field goals.
Buffalo 10 of 20 on third down conversions today. Third down 10 at the 37. Ryan Fitzpatrick scrambles, cuts it inside and goes down. And he goes down at the 34, picks up 3.
And those were crucial 3 yards, Gus. And this is a heads-up play by a quarterback who's really battled for his club today, extending past the 35. That's the target line, and he got just inside it.
So that brings on Ryan Lindell, good from 43 yards. This from 53 yards away. It'll be his longest make of the season if he gets it. Buffalo 0-6 and a timeout call. Right before the snap, Kansas City calling a timeout.
Well, you can't, one thing about this, Gus, you cannot second guess this timeout because that kick was through. That was a great timeout by Todd Haley. No matter what happens on the second kick, That was a great timeout.
Well, now Kansas City is out of timeouts. It definitely went through. Ryan Lindell, the 11-year veteran out of Washington State, comes back onto the field. So here we go again. 53 yards away. Can he do it twice? Mormon the holder. Clean snap. Good hole up. No good.
I don't think he hit the ball cleanly. It didn't come out of there nice. And he didn't. He hit it too high on the ball, and it knuckled out of there and hit off the upright. He had enough leg on it, even though he didn't hit it cleanly, and it knuckled down low right and bounced off the upright. And what the Buffalo Bills have to remember right here is that this game is not over.
That's right, because Kansas City now takes over with great field position at their own 43. Play action. Castle. Sideline. Moriarty down inside the 40. The rookie out of Iowa. Gains 16.
We spoke about him in the open, and you see running out, breaking to the sideline. Nice tight throw by Castle. And already the Chiefs are threatening to be within field goal range.
First down and 10 at the Buffalo 41. Charles. And he's down at the 32. Bird with the tackle, a 9-yard gain, and all of a sudden, Kansas City is in field goal range.
No question. Charles having the great game that he has all day, finding one more lane up inside the Bills defense. Great job up front by the Kansas City offensive line.
Second down and 1 at the 32. Charles can pop one. They give it to him. And Charles gets to the 25. Make it the 26. A 6-yard pickup.
And now the Bills have got to be thinking about what happened to them last week. The defense has got to try and rip the football out of the running back's hands. Think about getting a turnover and playing sound defense all at the same time.
Charles, 19 carries, 166 yards. First down at the Buffalo 26. Charles again running right. And he goes down at the 24. Picks up 2. Edwards with the tackle. Helpless feeling for Ryan Fitzpatrick. He got his team in the position to potentially win the game. And now he can only watch.
And because of a timeout by Todd Haley, they did not. I mean, the kick was through on 53-yarder and couldn't be repeated by Lindell.
Second down and 8 at the 24. Thomas Jones in the backfield. Here's Jones looking for the cutback. And Jones dives forward to the 22. Picks up a couple. Spencer Johnson stops him.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, one thing they've been very good at under Todd Haley, they're not going to outthink themselves. There's no reason to play action, try and end it with an offensive play. No reason to do anything other than hand it off, pick a hash mark, and let your kicker win the game.
Third down, 6 at the 22. Castle hands it off to Charles. And Charles gobbled up quickly. Picks up a yard, was Lesney there, and here we go.
Buffalo with 2 timeouts. You know Chan Gailey's going to take one.
And he may take 2. Brings on Ryan Succop. With 3:57 to go in OT. This will be from 39 yards away.
And there you see it. You can see it coming. And you think Succop is gonna. Yeah, and Chan Gailey doesn't wait.
First of the overtime period.
Buffalo still with the timeout remaining as Coach Gailey gets down the sideline.
And I've talked to a lot of kickers, obviously, given my background, and they all say, they say the same thing. I don't care if they ice me. Then, of course, they have to say that, but they give you this logic. It gives me a chance to double-check everything. Just go through my routine one more time without a deadline of a play clock. I can back up, make sure the spot I've got is right, talk to my holder, make sure everything is right. So a lot of times the kicker doesn't mind being frozen because sometimes they feel hurried when they get out there.
Kolk with the holder. Succop from 39 yards out for the win. And he hooked it. Holy mackerel. Wow. No good. And Buffalo is still alive.
Succop puts this right down the middle. Watch this ball hook. Are you kidding me? That thing had a left turn signal on and it went down the pipe and ended up outside left. We knew the wind was whipping around, and look at him. Succop can't believe it. He put that thing right down the tube and the wind blew that thing off the left foul pole. And there's nothing that energizes you like getting a second life.
3:38 to go in overtime. Buffalo with the timeout left at their own 29. Fitzpatrick firing. Evans incomplete. And there is, I believe, a flag on the far side.
Yeah, Brandon Flowers matched up with Evans.
Holding, number 24. Defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that doesn't bother you so much if you're the Chiefs. It's the pass interference. And watch this. Evans goes by him, and you see the hesitation in Evans. Flowers hooked his elbow and pulled Evans' right arm back and made him stumble a little bit. Whenever you make the receiver kind of miss his gait in a run, they're going to call you for that, and it was a good call by the official.
First down and 10 at the 34. Jackson on the handoff. And Jackson gets close to the 40-yard line, gains 5. Mike Vrabel with the tackle.
And with 3:20, time starts to become a factor once again. You know, Lindell would love to make amends for the missed field goal he had just a minute ago.
Second down, 5 at the 39. Buffalo with one timeout. Kansas City out of timeouts. Under 3 minutes. Jackson again. And Jackson crosses the 40. Picks up 3. Derek Johnson stops him.
And you can see the wind is really a factor down there. There's pieces of paper blowing around on the field. The officials' shirts are flapping in the wind. You can understand why Succop missed the kick going in that direction. But it's been a factor today in the kicking game, particularly on kickoffs and punts. And it's also been a factor for the long snaps as well. Even the punters have been kind of chasing their snaps around when they've been trying to get the kickoff.
Third down and 2 at the 42. Another handoff to Jackson, needing 2 yards. And I don't know.
I think they're going to give it to him on the near side. Officials giving him the spot. The one on the far side doesn't look to be as generous. And it looks like he got it without question. You can see the officials' shirts flapping right in the middle of the football field. Look how windy it is.
Timeout for a measurement.
Now, from where those chains were on the sidelines, there's no question that the Bills got that first down.
And the Bills have it.
And Todd Haley can't challenge that spot. It comes from upstairs, and you won't see it from upstairs. It'll be very unusual.
Brings us to the overtime 2-minute warning. Tied at 10 in Kansas City. Ryan's hope, Lindell and Suckup hoping to get another opportunity to win this game for their teams after missing game-winning field goals here in overtime. First down and 10 at the 44. Fitzpatrick breaks contained. Fitzpatrick dives forward and gets to the 41. A 14-yard pickup for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Bills are getting close again.
And Fitzpatrick has really chosen his spots to run brilliantly today. That was crucial in that situation, and it was unexpected.
First down at the Kansas City 42. Underneath, incomplete. Johnson, the intended receiver. Both kickers today, Steve, have had opportunities.
Lindell hitting this one, knuckles out of there. It looked like he was going to go through, and then knuckled off, hit about 1.5 feet above the crossbar on the upright, and then Suckup. That ball got blown out of the center of the uprights for a wide left kick.
Second down and 10 at the 42. 1:28 to go. In overtime, Buffalo with one timeout. Fitzpatrick to the sideline. Roscoe Parrish couldn't hold on in front of Javier Arenas.
It's a dangerous pass to Parrish on the outside. You see how easily it would have been if Arenas would have broken up on that ball and snagged it.
Third down and 10. Fitzpatrick in trouble, and he dumps it. No flag on the play.
This might be an intentional grounding.
That's what the Chiefs want.
And that will mean the Bills will have to punt it away, and there it comes.
And there goes the flag. Tamba Ali again getting to the quarterback.
You watch Fitzpatrick gets caught in the pocket. He bull rushes Cordero Howard, and there's no way that Fitzpatrick got out of the tackle box. And that was the problem. Tamba Ali has been a force today.
Now, we're going to put the...
A 10-yard loss.
And loss of down as well. The down counts.
2.5 sacks for Tamba Ali today.
And now the Buffalo Bills have got to cover this punt and try and hem in Javier Arenas.
Arenas standing at the 10-yard line. Mormon has been terrific with his directional punting this afternoon. His 7th punt of the game. Tries to kick this one into the corner, and it goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. They're still walking. Wow. 31-yard line.
And even though Brian Mormon's not happy with that spot, the one thing it does do for the Buffalo Bills is it makes sure there's not a long return. But Mormon would love to have gotten that one inside the 20.
The last tie in the NFL, 2008, Philadelphia and Cincinnati. 1:13 to go. Kansas City, no timeouts. They're really going to have to go for it now. Castle. Scrambles. Charles. At the Charles crosses the 45, picks up 16. Bird with the tackle. Chiefs get to the line of scrimmage. 58 seconds to go. Castle lines him up quickly. To the sideline, incomplete. And that stops the clock at 48 seconds.
And I'll tell you what a game Jamaal Charles has had for the Chiefs. That last catch, just one indication of it. He has been the difference in this football game, although there isn't much difference on the scoreboard, Gus. Jamaal Charles has been the best offensive player for either team.
Second down and 10 at the 47. A lot of time remaining for Kansas City. Castle delivers a bullet. Moyaki, the rookie, down at the 35. They're in range. He gained 18. 37 seconds to go. And a flag on the play.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 29, defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Drayton Florence. First down at the 35.
Matt Castle talking to the official Al Riveron about the play clock. We'll get it reset.
Matt Castle in the shotgun. Looking underneath. Another catch at the 25. Moyaki. 10-yard gain. They're really in range now. With 25 seconds to go at the 24-yard line, and Castle spikes the ball.
Moyaki has been clutch, the go-to guy here in overtime in the passing game. As you see there, just going out running the simple hitch, little hook route, and Castle putting it right on the button.
Suck up. Missed the 39-yarder here in OT. Has made a 28-yarder this afternoon. 21 seconds to go, but we have swirling winds on this side of the field. Second and 10 at the 24. Charles spins down at the 16, plus Lusney gets him. 12 seconds and counting. Chiefs to the line. 8 seconds. Castle spikes it. Matt Castle did his job. 5 seconds to go. Here comes Suckup.
Outstanding job by Matt Castle and the Chiefs offense.
But it's really windy on this end, folks. This will be from 35 yards away. Big game for the Chiefs. They're on the road the next 2 weeks in the division. Oakland and Denver.
From the right hash this time.
Clean snap. Good hold. It's up. Bogey.
He starts this one outside the right upright, and it comes back into the middle. Takes a lot of guts to do that. From inside 40 yards, he starts it outside the upright, and it comes back in right down, right center of the uprights, making up for the miss that he had just a few minutes ago.
Chan Gailey had a timeout left. He faked like he was going to call a timeout, but didn't do it. And 7 now for Buffalo, but they're celebrating in Kansas City. Chiefs win 13-10 in overtime.